Correspondent Ed Donahue reports on Rudy Giuliani's order to pay 2 Georgia election workers.
Ruby Freeman and daughter Shay Moss won a $148 million judgment in Georgia over Giuliani's false ballot fraud claims against them related to the 2020 presidential election.
These are not conspiracy theories.
Giuliani must turn over his New York City apartment, more than 24 watches, sports memorabilia, and a 1980 Mercedes. The mother and daughter said Giuliani pushed Donald Trump's lies about the election being stolen, which led to death threats that made them fear for their lives.
That is Ed Donahue reporting millions of Americans can't afford to buy a home or rent a suitable apartment, making housing a central issue for voters in the upcoming presidential election. The Harris and Trump campaigns have both laid out slightly different plans aimed at boosting home construction to make homes more affordable. You'll find breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Julie Walker reports American Airlines will pay a multi-million-dollar fine for mishandling disabled passengers and delaying the return of and even damaging their wheelchairs.
The U.S. government is fining American Airlines $50 million for failing to provide wheelchair assistance to passengers with disabilities and damaging thousands of wheelchairs. Officials say the size of the fine reflects the large number of incidents, which include taking too long to return wheelchairs to passengers after flights. But American will only have to pay half of the $50 million because it's receiving credit for money it spent to improve wheelchair handling and compensate affected passengers. American says it's making investments to improve the travel experience for people with disabilities and has reduced the rate of mishandled wheelchairs and power scooters by more than 20%. I'm Julie Walker.
More of these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yes, sir. You are correct, sir.
Continuing on as we recover from flooding and all the rain and everything we've had over the weekend here. Still going on.
Yeah.
Still lots being uncovered.
Mm-hmm. And still lots to uncover, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's
the site, the video that I believe we posted last night from the zoo.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, seeing that train track the way that it was, that was devastating because I have so many memories of not just me with my kids, but me with my parents, with my brother. I mean, so many memories from that train. That's just awful. Oh,
and if I remember right, the status of the merry-go-round is still unknown.
Yeah,
right?
nobody's said one way or the other.
No one's too optimistic about it from what I'm hearing. So,
but again, it is a classic, and they did build them better back then.
So you never know. Maybe they get into it and it's salvageable, but who knows? But yeah, there's still a lot of that being uncovered. Of course, school, physical school canceled today. But if you got robocalls and everything, which you should for parents and students and everybody, they are doing a virtual learning. So your school should contact you today. Teachers will be calling you probably via the telephone. If you are able to do the online stuff, great. But they said because if you can't due to logistics, just simply can't do it, that they're not punishing any students or anything.
Sure.
But for today, they are doing a virtual presence through the schools as much as possible. Each school is going to be different. Each teacher is going to tell you different based on their curriculum and what they're going to do. So please get that information from your teachers here today. They should all be contacting you here today.
Yep.
So parents, if you get calls from schools or from numbers like that's probably your teachers calling you. So accept that call and talk to them. That is a thing sometimes. My wife being a teacher, I know exactly. And she's like, yeah, I did a wellness check on everybody, was it Monday? And she's like, I think I got a hold of 2 people out of everybody in the class. The rest didn't respond. So your teachers will be doing that today, just to let you know. So take the call.
It's back to school. All right? Get ready for school, kids.
Yes. Yeah, so they're doing. Of course, if in case you have not seen it, it was widely shared and seen. But Brian Luck, I had mentioned at the end of yesterday's show, I'd gotten a video, but they'd asked me to hold off so they could show to some of the board members and things. But explaining really why school is not happening today and yesterday, because those buses, they're going through each one with a fine-tooth comb to get all the debris and
mostly with a power washer. Those combs, they're not really getting the debris.
Actually, the power washer's not getting it either. They're literally under there picking out of the thing. And there's a couple videos of it. It's good visual of what they're dealing with.
It was pretty funny last night. I got a text from a friend, a former listener from a few stations ago.
No longer listens.
No longer listens. Well, I don't know, but that's the thing is because the message I got was sharing the video that we shared. Like, hey, did you see this? I'm like, we originated.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
We put it on the map, lady.
Yes, I'm familiar.
But now, I understand that the situation itself notwithstanding, it's an awful situation to deal with. But I've never. It's rare that you're a part of watching a video go that viral and just that quick.
It is
because I kept refreshing. It was like 145 shares, 304. We were up to like a 12 or 1,300 shares by the time the day ended.
That one escalated quickly.
It certainly did. I meant to talk to you about that. You might want to lay low for a little while because you might be wanted for going viral.
Right. You killed a guy with a trident.
Thank you. Yeah, there were horses, and I killed a guy with a trident.
Yeah, you might want to lay low.
Oh, just that whole scene. And here we devolve. That whole scene feels improv because of the way they were repeating each other and building off of each other.
Yeah.
And I know how Adam McKay works. I wouldn't be surprised if that whole scene was at least largely improv.
I'm sure there was a lot of stuff that let's put it in, And to be honest, in Anchorman 2, where they do another version of that thing, equally as entertaining. I mean, when you incorporate the ghost of Stonewall Jackson, you can't miss there.
Yeah, the second movie is a little harder to get through, but there are definite moments.
Oh, I like that movie just as much. I
wouldn't say
as
as much. I would say it's close, but there's enough stones that I can skip to get through that movie.
I like it for different reasons. Like I like the fact that they made a sequel of something that really had no business being made a sequel of. And to be honest, it didn't bug me that much.
No.
And it's kind of funny. Kids, don't believe the actual evolution of news on that thing. Like OJ and how Ron started basically sensationalist journalism that we see today. Spoiler, he didn't. But but it's kind of funny the way they play that in like that. And I like the fact that a man that's also fluent at jazz flute is an avid figure skater. That makes me...
it's respectable.
Apropos.
It is. It's respectable.
I mean, and they found Brick a girlfriend. I mean, that's... they had a date at a soda machine. Come on, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
It does bother me that his girlfriend is basically Lily from SNL.
Yeah.
Hi there. But still... Good for you, Brick. Good for you.
Happy.
Yeah.
I'm blind.
You love to see it, or not see it.
All right, bringing it back in.
And back to one.
That's right. But also, a couple other things I do want to mention. I did get a message from Bob here to remind folks that First Baptist Church, the Gyra Ministries, they're going to be open all week, tomorrow through Friday, 5 to 9. So at 500 North Pennsylvania, if you need clothing or assistance, they will help you any way, shape, or form they can.
Yes, sir.
And, of course, lots of other stuff. I've shared more resources and links to things on our Facebook page. Yep. I invite you to keep checking. I feel like when I'm not just doing radio or making a commercial, I'm just looking at Facebook and sharing things. So I feel like I've spent a lot of time doing that, and I ain't going to lie. I don't know how people spend all day on Facebook or on social media. After a while, I'm like, I need to get off this thing.
Well, that's really based on who or what you follow. I mean, and spending any long periods of time on it is not advisable. It's one of those things I'll pop on, see what's new, pop off for
sure. Well, and
then go touch grass.
And this is something too that remind folks out there, as I needed to remind myself as I spend copious hours. Let me find all the things I can to share, and look at this video, look at it. When you kind of surround yourself with that, it tends to, eat at you, and you get obsessive. And I'm like, I know a lot of us are probably dealing with, because this is the flood stuff's all we've been kind of thinking, breathing, thinking about, talking about for the last several days here. But maybe remind yourself, take the mental breaks, take the you moments, step away from flood talk to watch a movie or talk Anchorman or do something to kind of to bring you back centered if you're getting a little too into it or too overwhelmed with things.
And another thing, and this is something, there was Carrie posted a live video last night, and it was a great reminder. Check in with your people.
Absolutely.
I mean, make sure that your people are, because there's sure the stress of the situation is one thing, but the anxiety and the loss and that's something we haven't really had a chance to sit down and think about or process. So just check in with your people.
Well, it's starting to. Like I said, and each day is going to get worse. Like you said, each morning we're coming on and we're seeing new videos. It's like, oh, man, look at this. And guess what? For days, we're probably going to keep doing this again as more assessments, as we keep digging through and seeing what actual impact we're having here and more comes to light. There's going to be more stuff that's just going to be like, man, I can't believe it. And it'll be nostalgic stuff to more serious stuff, where people, and that's kind of the rub here where, you see the train tracks and you're like, oh, this is sad and depressing. But right at the moment, those train tracks ain't helping nobody or hurting nobody. So it's not the priority. However, it is a reminder. It's like, man, an aspect of my life is gone.
Yep. And
so we're all dealing with those emotions right now. It's like, that's not a priority, but at the same time, man, it really, it's why people, in a disaster, they put the flag up. They put the vase with the flower on the thing. It's that reminder that this is what we're getting back.
That was one of the more, I would say, poignant pictures that Christina posted up after her, kind of the day after Christina was kind of getting out and assessing, is all the flags that she had recovered.
Yeah.
And
by the way, I did share a post on that. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump in, but a lot of those flags, they were part of the Boy Scout troop. The Scout hut got hammered.
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of those flags. The Scout troop is asking if you can get those back. They want to retire them properly and do. So if you do have them, of course, you want to retire it yourself, by all means. But the Scouts are saying, hey, we would like to. And I also, too, if you can't get a hold of them, either American Legion, they'll take care of those. They'll make sure we get them retired properly. But again, just one of those little things in the sea of all the stuff that's going on that people are taking care of and doing, and we're going to see more of that over. But you're talking about the flags and everything. People are like, man, what a patriotic city! Look at all these flags that are in Basin's got from the flood, and it's true. We are that, but there's if you do see those, the Scout troop is taking those, and so they can get those retired properly.
Absolutely,
if you can help out, that'd be a good thing. Probably should get the hour going. I just looked at it. We're going to replay an interview this hour. Speaking of Carrie Moore, she joined us yesterday from the Chaves County Health Council, talking all about the 211 resources. I've shared several of their links. They are they are your go-between, your resource. If you have any issues, questions related to non-mergical stuff, but needs, things like that 211, they're the ones connecting to all the resources and everything else. So they're kind of a catch-all. If you don't know where to turn, 211, they'll put you in the right direction here. And that's kind of where they're serving through all of that. So, Carrie joined us to talk about programs, things, what's going on right now. Like I said, it was from yesterday, so it's still pretty up to date. But, as far as like the list and things, they're constantly updating. And there's a list that's going around of people that need things.
Yep.
And people that can offer services. And so there's a coordinated deal. And that's part of through the Health Council here. So, but anyway, we're going to play that interview for you here in just a few. The folks from the Eyesight are going to join us here in the 8 o'clock hour. I hope they did okay. Of course, they're right. They're
in that path,
they're new to town with their new locations right there by the convention center and all that. So I drove by there a couple times yesterday, and they didn't look too bad. Like there was cars in the parking lot, so I think they're okay. They're kind of on the hill, like when the hill's going up there, and they're kind of so they may have been high enough where maybe they. But anyway, we'll talk about the Eyesight flooding and what they do when we're not talking about flooding. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to replay an interview we had with Matt Bristol. He joined us Monday in the 7 o'clock hour. We talked a little bit about flooding, but just more sage legal advice that Matt did. It was kind of one of those scheduled interviews. So we're going to play that, maybe break up the monotony of flood stuff here for a little bit and get you into sage legal advice.
There you go. Thinking of something a little different.
A little different here. So, and then whatever else we can come up with for today's show. So, all right, before we do that, let's take a look at your weather. Tomorrow is going to be like, you're going to think about wearing shorts tomorrow.
I am thinking about wearing shorts tomorrow. Yeah. Seeing the forecast.
It's warm tomorrow, but it's only like one day. So, just a little thing. But you know what it's not doing? Raining, so we're good with that one. But here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure is parked in the central Rockies, and that's covering our area, so we'll stay mild today, mid to upper 80s, and we get lots of sunshine. Overnight looks clear with low to mid 50s, and then we're in the upper 80s and low 90s across the area on Thursday. Looks like we'll have another sunny day. Quick cold front moving in on Thursday night. No rain with that, but it will be a little cooler on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 52 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 75%. Winds are calm at the moment. Just pretty decent weather the rest of the week, thank goodness. Sunny, 84 for a high today. Winds will be out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 49 degrees. This is kind of nice, because I like cool nights. And so we're dropping in like low 50s, upper 40s, and then we're in like the low 80s. That's kind of the sweet spot of perfectness in weather to me. Cool at nights, good sleeping weather, warm but not too hot during the day. We got good weather right now, at least. For you Thursday, we are going to warm up to 88, pushing 90 tomorrow into sunny skies. Winds will be out of the south, 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, overnight low of 52, west winds 5 to 10. Friday, sunny, cooler, 74. We drop down to mid-70s on Friday. Winds will be a little breezier out of the north, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, clear, overnight low of 49 degrees. And then for the weekend, sunny and 76 for Saturday. And then sunny and 88 on Sunday. And then we're back into the upper 80s. Monday, 87. Yeah, so Sunday warm and then mid-80s. So more of that next week. Looks like maybe a little windy on Tuesday is what they're saying right now. All right, 7:21. We're going to take a 2.5-minute break. And then we're going to play our interview we had yesterday with Carrie Moore from the Chaves County Health Council, talking some good resources for flood and all the stuff going on. That's coming up next. Don't go away.
Good morning. This is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 646 head of cattle. Following the historic Roswell flood on limited receipts, cattle sold on the lower market with good buyer tenants. 3 to 40 pound steers, 306, 330. 3 to 400 pound heifers, 257, 279. 4 to 500 pound steers, 260, 306. 4 to 500 pound heifers, 240, 257. 5 to 600 pound steers, 240, 260. 5 to 600 pound heifers, 225, 240. 6 to 700 pound steers, 224, 240. 6 to 700 pound heifers, 7 to 800 pound steers, 7 to 800 pound heifers not well tested. Packer cows 115, 50 to 122. Canner and cutter cows 108, 114. Packer bulls 151, 153, 50. Feeder bulls and cow calf pairs not tested. Top half the bred cows $1,825 to $2,050 per head. Expecting a nice run of cattle for next Monday. We appreciate the business. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
At Artesia General Hospital, we know it's early, but schedule your mammogram today and save. Call 855-RAD-EXAM and save 10% off mammograms scheduled through October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and get a refreshing drink discount from Kith & Kin in Artesia or Blue House in Carlsbad. We use leading-edge, FDA-approved Genius 3D mammography technology to deliver more accurate results faster and with more comfort. Women over 40 do not need a referral for yearly screenings. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
Pressure Services LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and all positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screening. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please apply in person at 2702 North Freeman in Artesia, New Mexico. Equal opportunity employer.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota compact tractors. The Kubota L Series is the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. They're designed for easy operation and feature performance meshed attachments. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0% APR for up to 84 months. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Visit your local Kubota dealer, Amigo Machinery at 2801 Southeast Main Street in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning from the Chaves County Health Council, Carrie Moore in studio with us this morning. First off, thank you. I know you've been kind of running around like a chicken with your head cut off here for the last couple of days, just stomping out fires and getting resources, so we do appreciate you spend a few minutes with us on the radio this morning.
So. Happy to be here.
Yeah, under better circumstances, I wish, but
yeah, I'm like, not really, but okay.
Can we just talk about?
I'm good to, I'm happy to see you, Mike.
Yes, that is true. I was like, can't we just talk about health fairs and stuff? But
right.
Anyway, of course, with a lot going on here with the flooding, and it's really been, fast moving over the last couple of days here with people and stuff. So. I know you've been dealing with a lot of individual issues and things, but it looks like what we're seeing is the big issue right now is displaced people that are just in need of just basic things to live right now.
Right. So the first couple of days, it's let the first responders do what they got to do, stay out of their way. They rock at what they do, and they busted cojones for a couple days getting through that mess. So now that it's kind of slowed down for them, it's time for us and the nonprofits and the volunteers to jump in there and start going.
Picking up pieces here.
Picking up the pieces. So we're trying to get it organized so that way to control the chaos.
Sure. Well, I mean, because, and I mean, the good problem is we have a lot of people that want to get involved, but when there's a lot of people, then there's a lot of ideas. And so we need to kind of coordinate, centralize, and put it all in one direction so we're not having 12 people do the same thing. Yeah.
Right. And the county and Roswell emergency response people over there at the county offices, the emergency management team, reached out and said, since we have the Chaves County 211 line, which is the central resource information line.
It's kind of what this is for, is things like this.
Yeah. Would you guys step up? But it's like, yes, hands down, we are there. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So, it's always easier to remember 3 numbers than it is to remember 7 to 10 numbers.
And I think we just, as a society, have trained our brains that way. At 911, 411, depending on how old you are, kids.
Right.
And not 211, and so. But you're right. So, and of course, what is it? 988 for mental health as well. Yeah. So 3 does make sense here. But 211. If you're not familiar, this is not new. It's been out for a few years now. It is, and it's the same across the country. If you're in North Carolina, 211, But here in Chaves County, 211 is run by the Chaves County Health Council. And it is not an emergency hotline for medical emergencies. That's what 911 is for. But if you have, generally during normal times, health-related, like, hey, I'm new to town, I need a doctor, or, hey, I've got a child on the spectrum, what resources are available, things like that. But, it's also kind of a catch-all for, hey, I've got veteran resources, I need something like that, or
what movie's playing today. We will Google that for you. Yeah, if you need to know something, we will find it one way or another.
And so obviously when we deal with a community-wide disaster like we're dealing with right now, this is it by default turns to a good resource for folks. So if you do have questions, non-medical emergency related stuff, they can help you steer with that. I'm guessing, I'm just ballparking, you're probably getting a lot of insurance questions. Wow.
We're getting a little bit, not necessarily on the insurance part of it.
Yeah.
It's I don't have insurance.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, okay, slow down. Sorry, people. I want to be, I want to bring you better news, but this is a very long, drawn out process.
Sure.
When it comes to monetary insurance,
claims being filed,
long-term solutions, you're going to have to give us time. Right now, we're still in recovery mode.
Yeah. It's like, hey, do you have a place to stay tonight? Hey, do you have food? Do you have clothing? Do you have bedding? What do you got?
Do you have somebody who is helping you get the water out of the house so that way we can get it opened up and dried out so you don't have mold?
Sure. Yeah, that's the big thing. A lot of this
kind
stuff
of
is
a big one for us right now.
Yeah, the time is of the essence on that. When because when you talk about the black moles and all those deadly ones that people mysteriously get sick and die from, this is how those start, is not proper cleanup of moisture and things like this. And so if you don't do proper flood abatement on this stuff, it'll creep back on you later down the road. You can't just throw paint over it sometimes.
Right. And that's kind of where we're at. We've got resources that are lining up. They're bringing out the muck buckets. I love the word muck buckets.
There's a bevy of muck out there too.
So we'll start getting those going and those resources out there to the community. But priorities right now is, yes, the water abatement, getting everything dry so that we don't have the mold. And then we've got some apartments and rental facilities that are evicting.
I saw you posted something about an hour ago on Facebook about that. So those people need a place to stay.
So they were evicted and they're not in their apartments.
Okay.
We know that much. So this is why it's taking us a little while, because now we got to go track them all down and coordinate them back to their apartment so that they can get their stuff, because they were told that they have to get their stuff or it's going on the street.
Oh, wow.
And then with that, it's, do they have vehicles? Most of them don't.
Right.
Where's their stuff going? So there's a lot of logistics and things that we've got to get lined up.
At least try to get them situated somewhere, at least a place we can put them until we figure out the next move, kind of.
Right, and what to do with their stuff. So it's kind of like, all right, find you a place to put your stuff. We will start working on hands and trailers to get over there to start helping you guys move your stuff, but you have to have a place for them to go.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go over there, but if we have no place to go,
it's
not going to help.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. If it's just you're putting your emergency stuff in black trash bags and going back to the hotels, that one's a lot faster and easier to move.
Yeah.
Than if
and
we're
I'm guessing,
out.
depending, they might have not just like a couple bags, like they have a whole household full of furniture and things too in some cases.
Well, and that's kind of the thing. It's like those that are simple that can fit in your back seat, you're just taking.
Yeah.
You're kind of calling everything in your apartment a wash.
Sure.
You're just going to take your emergency
stuff. Yeah, I imagine
stuff.
most of the stuff's probably flood damaged, maybe some beyond keeping,
If it's more than that and we have to actually physically move furnitures and all that kind of stuff, those are the ones that we need to know where that stuff is going.
Although if you had some old Amish furniture, hold on to that. That stuff is indestructible.
My first deploy this morning is I got a lady who was getting removed from her rental house with somebody who had a truck and trailer, was ready to rock out. That's what I was doing in the hallway while you guys were saying she's out there working. I was connecting those resources. My phone's been kind of going since 3:00. So
good deal. Well, I would imagine if there's folks that would like to volunteer right now, I'm sure Carrie could probably find places to put you to work at.
Most definitely. So one of the things that we discovered during the Rio Doso fire is keeping track of the resources. So what I created then was a Google document, so that way we could just update the resources as they were coming through, take out those if they were temporary, take them out. So it was a full living document. That worked beautifully, as long as people didn't screenshot it.
Gotcha.
And then start sharing photos.
Then the list couldn't be updated.
Then it's no longer living.
Yeah, it's doubled up and stuff.
So I did a little bit more. So we have the resources, the Google document for that one, which we're updating, and I've got the New Mexico Homeland Security Emergency people.
Okay.
I can't remember all their
They
initials.
got a lot of acronyms.
Yeah. But I got closer this time. They're also adding resources into that same document.
Okay, excellent.
So when I say this is a truly living document, it is coming from various locations, and we're vetting and making sure that this stuff is going.
Excellent.
So don't screenshot it, people.
Yes.
Share the link to the Google Doc, because that's what you need.
Yeah, because that way, as people see the list, it updates in real time. That way, they're like, oh, yeah, they still need whatever. And it's like, no, 12 people bought that already
Right.
or took care of that already.
Yeah, and there's things that right now I might not think about,
Sure.
but somebody will come back and say, oh, yeah, we really could use these.
Absolutely,
it's like, oh,
too.
shoot. Yeah,
Yeah,
didn't think about that. All right, here we go. Let's add it in.
Absolutely, because as we start peeling back the layers here, we're going to find other needs and other things that all of a sudden those needs press to the top of the list.
Right. So we have that one going, and I'm sharing. It's about 4 documents, I think.
Okay.
So we have a volunteer form that's out, so that we're creating a volunteer list. So anybody who wants to volunteer but doesn't know what to do, you fill out that form. We put you into our spreadsheets, and then as somebody calls and says, "Hey, I need this done at my house," and that fits within what you're capable of doing, then we'll say, "Okay,
Excellent.
here, we're deploying you here. Go help do this."
I would imagine, not that you guys lack work, but if you got some, electricians and carpenters and various plumbers, various tradesmen out there, that would be helpful.
Yeah. So that was one of the things when we had our meeting yesterday, was trying to get some of those extra resources, because the deal with the water is it affects plumbing, it affects sewage, it affects electricity, gas lines. And so you can't just empty it all out, depending on where your water level was, without having some of those services checked to make sure you don't have leaks, or that you're not going to create a fire when
Absolutely.
you
Or
flip your breakers on.
cross-contamination of something else, and you don't want your sewage in your water line and all kinds of stuff.
So we were able to get some of those that we're offering, so that they can just come out and do just the quick checks. They're not doing the free repairs or any of that, but they can sit there and say, okay, yeah, you're good. You can flip your breakers back on.
Sure. A quick safety thumbs up here and say, yeah, you're not going to blow up the world or yourself here.
Right. So if there's any others of you out there that have those skills and abilities, definitely get with us so that we can get you into this list, because
Absolutely.
there is a lot of houses that have to be looked at. And right now I think I have like 3 or 4 of them on my list, and I need more.
Well, I mean, we talk about here in Roswell, but I'm pretty much the entire town of Dexter is probably in need of that stuff.
Right, and that's kind of the thing, because we are Chaves County, so we're collecting, and all of our forms are set up, and you can specify if you want to help in Midway, if you want to help in Dexter, because those are your areas.
Sure.
We're setting it up so that we can do that.
Absolutely. Because I mean, Roswell kind of got the spotlight, but Chaves County got hammered, and folks in other parts of the county definitely are dealing with some issues too.
Yeah, and we know Dexter's strong out there.
They've been kind of doing more than their share, it seems like, lately, with the floodings and fires. I mean, just
tornadoes.
I mean, just everything. Yeah.
Poor Dexter. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, they just have kind of been right in the crosshairs for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, but we want to make sure that we're covering all of Chaves County, everybody here that needs help, and so we're splitting those resources up. We've got one of the other forms that we've got is created a I need help at my house form.
Okay.
So now I've got people who volunteer. Now where do I send them, right?
Okay.
So now there's another form. Hey, I need some help. This is what's going on.
Sure.
So that way we can deploy them to
So
the
if
houses.
you have those, please get on this list. Now, please be patient. Like I said, this is, as we get people, and so so just if you get on the list, it may be a little time before we can get people to do and everybody, but please put it on that list. And folks, if you do have the means to help in any way, shape, or form, this is how we fix this. This is how we're gonna. If we're to be honest, if you're waiting around for the helicopters and the government to swoop in,
it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's just we got to roll up our sleeves, and this is how we do it. It's no different than any other aspect of your life. You want something done in Chaves County, you got to get out and do it.
and the other part to that is we kind of have to do like the first responders. We have to do triage. We have to pick the priorities. And we're not saying that anybody is better or worse than anybody else. It's just sometimes if you have the means and the abilities to pay somebody to help you do something, pay somebody, have them help you do something. If you have a big family and your family is good at doing this, use those resources.
Absolutely.
We have people who have absolutely nobody here. We have people who are homebound. They physically can't leave, or they can't take up their carpet. They can't do this stuff.
Life was hard for them before Saturday night.
Yes.
And now it's impossible.
And in our forums, we're asking that information because we need to know. So we're hitting the hardest hit, I guess. I don't know how to describe it.
Sure.
We're like I said, we're triaging. We want to make sure we help those in need the most.
And to be honest, we're still uncovering. It really is. It's layers and then layers and it's kind of, and as I was saying this morning, it's really this. There isn't middle ground on this one. Either people had no issue or they're devastated. There's not a lot of in between on this one.
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is the people that didn't have issues and kind of like, wow, there's some real devastation here. If you can help, get involved, because there are some folks, your neighbors really could use help right now. We got folks that they don't know what they don't know where their head's going to lay down tonight. They don't know what's going to happen to them next week. And we need to make sure that those things are taken care of.
Well, and we were already in a housing crisis way before this happened, and now we've taken out a chunk of decent housing, and some of these houses, even though they may still be standing, they may not be livable.
Absolutely.
Even if we go in there and we try to do the water abatement on them.
It's kind of like these bridges, same thing. Everyone's saying, yeah, the bridge looks fine. Like, yeah, but the forces of water, if it moved those supports even just a little bit, that can impact, and that's why they got to go out and fine-tooth comb all these things. And same kind of deal here. Matter of fact, and I just it just popped up, but I teased everybody. Brian Luck did send me a video. It's out at the buses there, and kind of what they're dealing with out there. I'm going to share it a little later on to our thing. He's got some other people that want to take a gander at that first, but I will share that to you just so for the school thing. Again, just I know I kind of crowbarred it in the middle, but just talking about logistics and things. That's
and we can add a little bit, even if on his video, it's the vehicles that have been underwater. All of the debris is flushed up into the engines and into the compartments.
Yeah.
And so your vehicle may start, but if you don't clean out the debris, there's a possibility that you could catch fire. And then that's a whole nother thing that's going on.
Yep.
So there's a lot of logistics on everything that you have to look at and have to do.
Yep.
So don't just say, okay, well, my car only got up to like the doors and I can still drive it and go.
No,
you're going to have to check it.
You need to crawl through that thing and take a look, make sure there's anything inside there or hung up underneath, or, especially if the water went above your tailpipe, that's indicator that you probably got something going on, and water in the engine, some other issues.
Yeah.
It's just, sorry, that's engineering.
Well, and so far, like I found this morning, we've got one mobile mechanic on our resource list. So some things will be free, some things will be charged. I mean, it's just kind of the nature of the game. But some of it,
are dealing with the same thing,
right? There's so much going on. One person can't help everybody, and they can't do it for free. For everybody.
And this is kind of that mom and pop business, which, let's face it, we're all, most of us small business owners doing our thing. And this is, these are the people that are, putting the posters up for your kids' sports teams and sponsoring their various things. And now, even more is being put on that. And they're all stepping up to help. But there's only so much they can do. They are people that at the end of the day got to feed their families. They got to do their things and live their lives too. So they can't just give all of their services away for free and expect to, not be homeless themselves.
Right. Yeah. So if you have the means, help out. You
Absolutely.
know, donations. Even if they are doing stuff for free, you can still do donations.
Yeah, and we thank those businesses and all those people that go above and beyond. But sometimes I'm like, folks, sometimes that tap's going to run out. We can't abuse the people that give. We need to spread that love a little bit and get more people stepping up. But that being said, God bless every single one of those people that do that.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm like, maybe we shouldn't beat up on these people too much. They really are our lifeblood.
Well, and when it's all done, remember, shop small.
Exactly. When you're getting Black Friday here and all that in a couple weeks, hopefully we're starting to look back to normal by then. Remember these businesses.
Well,
these
if you
people.
look at Allison Furnishings, I mean, their store was wiped out, so they're losing all their stuff. But they're over there saying, okay, we're just going to take all of this out, but here's what we're going to do for the community, and we're dropping all of this down. It's like, so we can keep it going.
Our whole thing's wrecked, but we're going to keep building up everybody else, and we'll get ours when we can get ours.
Right. That's true community right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and of course you're going to see more reports. Carabelli Dental, I saw there yesterday. They got impacted pretty bad, and they're going to be out of commission for a little bit, and so good people over there. That you're going to hear story after story, and more of those are going to come out here as the days progress here. So,
well, and the bad part about that is as those places can't operate, that also means that there's usually no income for their employees, and their employees may have already been infected. It snowballs.
It is. It's a yeah, exactly. One thing begats the other, and you don't realize. And this is those moments that remind you how connected we really are. Right. You may think you live in your own little bubble, but you realize you don't as much as you think you do. Yeah. And so that's please if you have questions, you have issues. Again, that 211 hotline can get you in the right direction for pretty much anything. When it comes to health or resources for needs, things like that.
The Chaves County Health Council Facebook page is where you can find all the living documents.
Excellent.
Again, I'm trying to keep it. You can just copy and paste the text, and you can text it to people. So people are asking for stuff. I'm texting the information out. Again, this is the great part of these living documents.
Yeah, if you do Facebook, I know when you hit the share, there's usually different options. Like you can copy that link, and one says copy, so do that. That way, when you do copy in the text, it updates that living document. And so, for people that are like semi-literate on some of this stuff, trust me, the share button there, because I have to manage other pages, so I get to the page. Which one am I sharing it to again? I don't remember. But there's
How
one
old
that
are you, Mike? Come on.
I'm in that creamy middle where I'm dumb on some things and really smart on others. But yeah, if you just hit that copy link, and then you can put it to your text or whatever email or whatever you want to get that out to.
And then if you just completely can't do that and you need help, call 211, because while I'm talking to you on the 211 phone, I'm texting you off of my phone.
There you go. We'll get it to you.
I'm literally running to, and then when I get to the office, I got a couple more.
Yeah, I would imagine. But folks, and please, like we said, we got some other. I know the county and everything. And I shared it on ours. There is a place where they're kind of directing if people want to make financial donations. That's kind of and I guess they have a list too that you can get on for aids and needs and things like that too. And that's,
So again, that stuff will go into the living document.
Okay, so it's all attached to that too.
Yeah, because
Excellent.
That's the New Mexico Homeland Security Emergency Management.
Is that what that is? Okay,
Yeah.
See, I just saw it today and I was like, this is new. I don't know what it, but I saw the sheriff in the city. And I was like, so it's official, whatever it is. I just wasn't familiar with it.
So Pioneer. So to stop all of the Venmos, the alternative, the GoFundMe's, all these, hey, yes, I will make sure that they get their money. But do we really know if they're going to get their money or not?
This kind of cuts through all that mustard.
This cuts through all that. So Pioneer is taking cash or taking funds through all of their banks statewide. And they've partnered up with, it's the Southeast New Mexico. Hang on, this is why I have a resource. It's the Community Foundation of Southern New Mexico.
Okay.
And in the Chaves County Flood Resource List, there's a link to the foundation. So they're also taking the donations. And Pioneer will ultimately distribute all the money that goes to them to the foundation.
Okay.
and the foundation will be the one that distributes it out to the community.
Gotcha. But
and
it
this
all
is
stays here in town.
It stays here in Chaves County.
Gotcha.
So it'll cover Roswell, Midway, and Dexter.
Excellent.
This is for all three communities.
Yeah, no, 10% of this goes to whomever,
right.
whatever, and all
and,
that.
And you
So,
don't have to worry about if, Johnny down the street
Sure.
actually shared that GoFundMe money.
Excellent. Very good. So,
Yeah.
so if you're looking for a place and you're like, well, I want it to, that will get you there. And like I said, call 211 if you have any more questions about that, or go to the Chaves County Health Council Facebook page,
Right.
or any of it that we've shared on ours, and you can kind of research more too on that page.
Yeah, and you'll start, if you're on Facebook, you'll start seeing it. It also posts over to Instagram.
Good.
I'm not as Instagram friendly as I am
I
Facebook.
have a page, but I can't even get to it, to be honest. I haven't been, I think I set it up about 8 years ago, and I haven't messed with it since. So.
Yeah, and seeing everything I post on Facebook automatically goes to Instagram, so I don't have to deal with both. It just goes.
So you're busy all the time there. It's like,
Yeah.
active. Well, I kind of.
I used to do Twitter or X back in the day, but we don't really use that a whole lot around here.
No,
so I just kind of like,
I'm on that for stalking purposes only. I just go and read and snoop and see the degradation of society on.
Yeah, I don't have that. I'll let you guys do that one.
Yeah, you want to get good mad, get on X for about 20 minutes. You'll be good mad by the end of that. I don't care what you're into or what you're not into. You just be mad.
Yeah. I need more than 120 characters.
Yeah. But folks, yeah, like I said, there's resource out there, and I said it's a moving thing, and as the week progresses, there's going to be more and more coming out, more and more things. I will say, on the converse side of that, also comes the predators and the unsavory side of this stuff. You're going to see the fly-by-nights coming into town and all that. Be very leery of all that type of stuff. Again, do your homework on businesses that come in offering repair services and stuff. My suggestion, stick with the locals, because you know what you're going to get there. But you do your research.
But we do have organizations that this is what they do, and they're legit, and they're coming through.
Absolutely.
So we're trying to vet through them and
Sure.
make sure that we've got.
Yeah, if you see a seal of approval from someone like the Health Council or city or county, then they've gone through proper channels.
We've tried our best.
Sure, I get what you're saying. As a guy on the radio, I'm like, yeah, occasionally I'm like, oop, they duped me.
It's like, Mike, come on.
They got me. But yeah, it's just be leery of that. And obviously, and this is sad too, but folks, I am hearing reports of scavengers and
the
looters and whatnot. Please, please, please. If you see any of that kind of activity, report to law enforcement, let them handle it. But folks, we all live in this together. These are your neighbors. Come on, you're gonna have to deal with them again. Let's have a little heart here. You're in need. We're all in need. This ain't the way to get that done.
I don't care if you saw somebody else doing it. Stop.
Yeah.
Come on, you're better than that.
Yeah, this is a human tragedy, and these are people. And God forbid if you were in that situation where you were needed help. I hope you would. You know what I'm saying? This is it's just not the place for this. So
right.
We're better than that.
So I do want to, this isn't in my document, but I do want to make sure that we touch on this one because a lot of people are asking about distribution centers and where to take supplies. So right now I can tell you, clothing, we are going to set up so that the people who normally hand out clothing in town will be your clothing destination. So we know that First Baptist.
Yeah, they're Gyra Ministries.
Thank you. I didn't know how to say it.
Yeah. Matter of fact, they're open 9 to 5 every day this week for that kind of stuff.
So you want to donate clothing? Make sure it's usable clothing, people.
Yep.
We don't need any more negligees.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. We're not going to a dance party. We're not going to a honeymoon.
You can keep the wedding dresses. Good clothing that they need.
Shirts, pants.
Yeah.
Dresses if they're not, nightclubbing dresses, normal everyday dresses.
So we'll put that up, and so we'll have specific places to take clothing. And this also means that if you need clothing, that's where you go.
Sure.
There's no charges for them. They're passing them out.
Come in as you need and take what you need there, kind of thing.
Right, but for the big stuff, because we've got the semis that are coming through with lots of stuff. So right now we've got Fulkerson Plumbing over on 2nd Street.
Okay.
And they've got semis coming through with the big stuff.
Oh,
so
excellent.
like I've got the water and the muck buckets and all that stuff.
Okay, so the
that'll
heavy
be
lifting
hitting.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they got the parking lot to do this. And so part of it was trying to distribute across town so that we could avoid some of the bridges with some of these semis
Again,
and things.
we talked about our problems earlier.
Yeah. Again, we have Fulkerson. We've got Rhodes Plumbing who's going to do some. So they're here in the downtown area. We've got Assumption Church up north who's going to do some. And then we got Church on the Move down south.
Okay.
We will update the list as it goes. And we may have to divide it out between,
Sure.
okay, look, these are going to be the big guys, and we'll take from here and we'll distribute down to the small guys who are going to get it to you.
Gotcha.
Because right now they're not necessarily set up for all the walk-in people.
Okay.
But if you're wanting to know, hey, where am I taking stuff?
Gotcha.
You know.
They're set up to say, hey, all right, here's our big stuff. We can get it to the distribution centers. Then the folks go to the distribution centers where they're better equipped to handle the walk-ins and those kind of things.
And the
Makes sense.
reality is that so many cars have been lost. We know that we are mobility challenged. So a lot of these resources we're going to have to bring down into the community,
Okay.
down into the zones.
Okay.
To make sure.
Asked Christina, was in here yesterday. Is transit doing any deals for anybody? Anything?
So
like that?
the buses are running on their normal
schedule.
Well, not necessarily scheduled, but their normal routes.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if that's just the Main Street bus because
Okay.
I think that was the only one that was truly running.
Sure.
So the Main Street bus, it's running. The buses are free. They
Okay.
are not charging.
That's I was kind of good. So if you do need transportation, you don't need just get on the bus.
Right. And you can call their services. So they do that call-in pickup thing.
Okay, excellent. So if you got time window sensitive
right.
stuff, yeah.
And then we've set it up so because the fairgrounds is not on any bus line.
You're right.
And that was a problem because a lot of people don't want to go out to the fairgrounds and get stuck out there.
Sure.
So now we've got it set so that the bus
They
can
do have
cover
one that,
the fairgrounds.
They got a shuttle going out there for the time being. So
Yeah.
excellent.
So we're trying to get all those logistics
That's
worked
a
out into
resource
that.
folks can tap into if you're having some transportation issues, things like that. Excellent. Again, 211 is if you have questions about navigating anything right now, that's a great, probably your best resource for things. Chaves County Health Council on Facebook or Instagram is a great way to stay up to date on as things are added and as priorities shift and as we kind of triage and go through those various phases of that. So, but folks, please, if you can get involved, get involved. All hands on deck. We quote a organization town, many hands make less work. So
yes.
We need many hands here to roll up our sleeves and get involved. And we show love to everybody else. We got to show a little self-love this time.
Well, and speaking of self-love, so we're going to put this out here because I know we're getting close on time.
Yeah.
This is overwhelming. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of crying. There's a lot of frustration.
Mm-hmm.
If you need help, call 988.
24/7.
24/7. You can also text 988. This is one of those, you're frustrated, you're sitting in the corner, you're in tears, and you just need to vent.
Mm-hmm.
988 is a great place just to vent if you need to vent.
Yep.
You have to take care of your personal self as much as you are trying to take care of the stuff around you.
Absolutely. Without a clear head, it's going to make it real hard to navigate the rest. It really does.
Yep. And the other part to that is stay busy.
That should be a problem.
Right. So, if your house is done, help your neighbors.
Absolutely. You'll find when you're in the dumps a little bit, or feeling down, you find that when you help others through their things, it lifts your own spirits. And you might just realize that, you'll be amazed at how much mental health can be cured by just helping others.
Right. And it's not, not everybody can do all the physical stuff and get out there and do the shoveling and stuff. There'll be people who need help in some of these distribution centers. There might be people who need help on the phones. So there's all kinds of things.
Maybe just someone to hug and just be on, just support each other a little bit.
There's people who love to hug other people.
You know what I mean?
That's kind of weird, but
there
are those people.
But sometimes just, hey, it's going to be all right is all you need. And just knowing that you're not in it alone is the strength mentally to get you through this sometimes. times. And so if you're there just to be the support, then that's an amazing aid and help as well.
Sometimes a cup of coffee with a neighbor is what both of you may need.
Yeah, problems get solved over candy bars, just saying.
You see how that went. I went coffee, you went candy.
I didn't start beer yet.
Is that too early?
9. It was 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Right.
But folks, yeah. And Carrie's always, thank you. And people don't realize how much you really do for this community. And I will say it. Thank you so much. And I dare say we would, you and a collective handful of folks in this town, without you guys, we'd be FUBAR.
You know, we are our community. We make it what it is. And
Absolutely.
so, yeah.
But thank you. And, well, anything we do, let me know. And anytime you need to get on to update, whatever, let me know, and we'll make that happen.
All right. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you, Carrie. All right, 8:57, quick break before news. Don't go away.
go guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel witch and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
They call it the deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Middle of the week.
We
Busy
halfway
week.
there.
Yeah, busy.
Lemon on a pear, you know?
Yeah, kind of a weird week, obviously, with everything going on. And
Yeah.
not a atypical week for most of us here in town.
It's been a real failure to launch kind of week. Like, we haven't really gotten started yet, you know?
Well, we have, but we haven't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just we're just digging out, and as we see what's, assessing, and that's all we are. We're just kind of, figuring out and fixing up after a storm. That's what we're doing.
One of my least favorite things, favorite adult things, is when I have to spend a lot of money to get something just back to the way it was.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that.
Yeah.
That's one of the worst feelings in the world. You're like, I didn't even accomplish anything. I just got it back to where it was.
Yeah.
Oil changes are a great example of that. It's like, all I did was just get it back to the way it was. Now, granted, I know, kept the engine alive.
Sure.
Still, though.
I don't know, in my head, like I get an oil change, and I'm sure it's in my head. I feel like, I think the car's a little smoother. You just kind of.
It does feel like things are are a little more right after an oil
it does.
change.
It feels like,
I'm running on clean fuel.
happy.
Yeah, she would. But that's sort of what it feels like, here in Roswell. It's like everybody's just scrambling around to kind of get back to normal.
Yeah.
Like, even here in this building, which was, yes, affected, but minimally affected. There's still such a mold smell.
It's an aura.
Like, it is so hard to ride that elevator now.
Yeah.
If I was better at holding my breath, I would hold my breath for the entire time, but I always forget to take a deep breath before I get on. So, but yeah, it's just everything scrambling around to get back to normal.
Yeah.
So
we're doing it. It's gonna get. I would like to say better each day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
closer each day.
Yeah,
for sure.
closer each day, absolutely. And this too shall pass.
It has been kind of interesting to just. I shouldn't say interesting, but every time I'm walking around town, a certain part of town, and you just hear everybody's conversation, and it's the same conversation.
Well, what's everybody's brains right now?
It's where were you? What happened? What's your story?
And of course, because and the bigger question or concern is because there's a lot of uncertainty ahead. Like, let's face it, till kids are back in school, that's going to be a big. We're back
return
to normal.
to
you know
normalcy,
what I mean?
Yep.
Like that's going to be a big factor in people's lives when kids are getting back on buses and going back to classrooms.
Right.
That'll definitely put things into motion. At least where people start. All right, at least kids are going to school, going to work. We're doing the daily.
Things are getting back to the way they ought to be.
So I think that'll help. Now, granted, that being said, we don't want those folks to. I mean, we want them to rush, do what they're doing to get the bus, everything ready. But at the same time, this is a health and safety thing. You don't cut corners when it comes to that kind of work.
Yeah. This is definitely one of those situations where, it's nice to see, like I drove down Richardson yesterday past the planetarium, and they had like the entire Serve Pro team there to kind of sump out and I hadn't actually seen the inside of the planetarium until a recent video came out, but I mean, it just, because it's so low and it's like underground essentially for part of it, it just turned into a pool. So getting Serve Pro out there to get all that water sumped out. I mean, it's great to see that it's getting there.
Absolutely. And what we're seeing a lot of and want to keep seeing, and I try to share stuff as much as I can, but you can't get. There's so much going on. You can't get it all, obviously, but there is a lot of folks just helping, and I'm seeing that stuff, and you see a lot of back and forth online, and you see, of course, a lot of stuff around town. But where it's just people, hey, I'm here, I got something, y'all need help, shout out, you know, or people coming from out of town, setting up in a community space and saying, okay, y'all need food, y'all need, like I keep seeing, like another one, for instance, from outside of town, the shout out to the Hobbs Eagles football
absolutely,
team.
yeah.
They're doing fundraisers where they're collecting items at their home game Friday night, and they're going to ship it up to Roswell. And I'm seeing a lot of neighboring communities that are really stepping up and doing that kind of stuff.
Actually, if we're shouting out, my kid's mom's company, which is actually also the same company my dad used to work for, New Mexico Mutual, they donated $10,000 to the community fund.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of that that's just going on unnoticed. And so, we appreciate all that. And that's the kind of stuff that's going to get us through this. So just keep doing. And like I said, if you need help, 211 is that resource hotline. Of course, as I'll be talking about taking care of you and mental health and all this through all this, 988 is that 24/7 hotline to just to vent, just to talk, whatever you want to do. That's what it's there for.
Right.
So, just remind them. Of course, if you need references, I share a lot of other resources with Salvation Army and national and other resources and city and everything, the community efforts go through there. But yes, keep doing what you're doing on the just, hey, I'm going to set up here and we're going to do this, or we're going to go check on our neighbors, or obviously I see a lot of churches going around and helping people in various ways, going home to home and taking care of needs as they best they can. So we're seeing a lot of that going on right now.
It's funny how last week, people were complaining. I've seen roving gangs of youths.
Yeah.
And now they're roving gangs of youths that are offering to clean up people's yards and help put siding back on and stuff. It's all it takes is a disaster to bring us all together.
Well, there's always going to be an unsavory element in a situation like this. It just happens.
Yeah.
But what I like seeing is when the good overpowers. You can't stop everything. But, there is the overwhelming of the other side that hopefully drowns out the other.
And that's sort of been my approach, through all this is I'm just trying to, there's horrible pictures and videos, but I'm really trying to put an emphasis on the positive, on what people are doing, on the gathering of, supplies. And it's really been great to see the community come together like that.
I've said this 100 times in the last 4 days and 100 times more in the coming days, that this too shall pass. And I got to remind ourselves that sometimes too. So, let me give you a rundown of what's on tap for this hour of the show. We'll do weather and all that here in just a bit. But we're going to have the folks from the Eyesight join us. We have Nathaniel and John joining us. First off, we'll make sure they're okay flood-wise. I think so. Like I said, I drove by the last couple of days, and there was cars in the lot and everything because, of course, their business is right in the epicenter there of what a lot's going on. So, but anyway, they're I would say not new to the industry, but new to Roswell.
New to the area, for sure.
And so, we'll talk about that, talk about what they got going on and all the services they can provide you. And matter of factly, I just so happen to be wearing a pair I got last week from the Eyesight.
As well.
Yeah, you got yours a few weeks earlier.
Mine were like almost a year ago. Yeah,
his are old.
Technically, I'm kind of almost due, but it was like right when the Eyesight first opened.
So they've been about a year.
Got my pair.
I was trying to think of that. I was like, how long has it been? And I guess it's been about a year.
It's been about probably 8 months.
About 8 months. Okay. Yeah. So, but anyway, we will talk with Nathaniel and John here in just a bit and talk about the Eyesight this morning. And then later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with the newses of the local variety and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. And of course, don't forget if you do have resources you want shared, don't hesitate to put them in our chats or share them to us on our social media, and we'll be happy to share as best we can on some of that stuff and just get word out. That's kind of what we've been trying to do with this whole. Is just be that conduit to try, resources, this, that, there, go here. Try to be a kind of a one-stop place where you can look and find as much information as you could possibly get from flood stuff.
And big ups to Mixmaster Mike Winters for staying diligent on posting up on social.
I'm one little wheel in the cog of this. There's
of course, but I'm saying you have been pretty vigilant on keeping all. Basically, the 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook page has become a great aggregate of information of what's happening, whether it's the nonsense or hey, here's a community kitchen. You've been doing a great job of keeping up with it. So.
Well, thank you. Well, if I have any intestinal distress, that'll give me more time to look.
Oh, sure.
So I get quality searching time on the ball.
Absolutely.
And, so if I have a rough day on that, you'll notice by the amount of posts.
It's like, boy, Mike's posting up a lot. Oh, no, I got it.
I kid, of course.
This has become his new Uncle John.
Well, and thank you, but it's like Gene, for instance, he was literally in studios all day over the weekend.
Oh, of course,
because we really didn't want to be here because we're kind of in the middle of everything. So a lot of that was filtered out of the Artesia office, and so while he was on the airwaves, I was kind of, and Sean and everybody else were kind of on the internets, sharing and pushing and whatever we found and getting information out. So. That's kind of what, I ain't going to lie. I've been staring at Facebook a lot the last 3 days, a lot more than I want.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I ain't going to lie, at this point, I'm like, I think I'm good on Facebook for like a month. I think I just, I'm good. I don't need to, let me play my retro bowl football and be happy.
Let me just get back in my bubble, please.
Right. All right. It is 8:17. We reckon we should get the hour going here. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure is parked in the central Rockies, and that's covering our area, so we'll stay mild today, mid to upper 80s, and we get lots of sunshine. Overnight looks clear with low to mid 50s, and then we're in the upper 80s and low 90s across the area on Thursday. Looks like we'll have another sunny day. Quick cold front moving in on Thursday night. No rain with that, but it will be a little cooler on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 53 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 74%. Winds calm at the moment. We are looking at a really pretty nice day. Nice couple days weather-wise. Sunny, 84 for a high today. Winds will be out of the east at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, skies will be clear. Overnight low of 49 degrees. Winds out of the west at around 5 miles per hour. For you Thursday, warm tomorrow. 88 are expected high under sunny skies. Winds out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday night, we're looking at clear skies, overnight low 52. Then Friday, cooler, dropping down into the mid-70s on Friday, mostly sunny, 74. Winds out of the north, 5 to 15 miles per hour. And then for Friday night, clear skies, overnight low 49. And then 78 and sunny on Saturday, and then back into the upper 80s on Sunday. And it looks like we'll be upper to mid-80s to start next week as well. All right, it is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break, and then we will have the folks from the iSite join us on the other side. Don't go away.
It's October, and that means it's time to paint Roswell Honda pink. We partnered up with the Chaves County Cancer Fund to help raise much-needed money, and we are gearing up for another amazing year. Roswell Honda is giving away some great prizes, including 4 designer purses from Coach, Kate Spade, and Michael Kors. Pretty in pink, of course. Stop by for a free entry or 3 entries with a qualified test drive. And that's not all. With rates as low as 1.9% and over 100 quality pre-owned vehicles on the lot, there's never been a better time to get behind the wheel. Here's Joe Salzar to tell you all about it.
Don't let vehicle pricing rumors fool you. With Roswell Honda's market-based program tool, we are making it easier than ever to get the best deal in southeastern New Mexico. And with every vehicle sold in the month of October, we will donate $50 to the Chaves County Cancer Fund.
Join us Saturday, October 26th from 10 to 1 p.m. We will have a special performance by the Charlie's Angels. Bring cash to support the cause and purchase goods from our many vendors. Help us make it happen for the Chaves County Cancer Fund, and let's paint Roswell Honda pink.
Happiness isn't about getting what you want all the time. It's about loving what you have and being grateful for it. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smitherman for The Joy of Marriage.
As people, we can get so focused on what we don't have, we don't appreciate what we do have. We can make ourselves miserable, angry, and even depressed by focusing our thoughts and words on the negative. Take a look around and find something to be grateful for that your spouse does. It will change your attitude in your marriage.
1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, "No matter what happens, always be thankful, for this is God's will for you who belong to Christ Jesus."
Take it from me, I was such a negative person, but by renewing my mind with God's Word and learning to be thankful, it changed my life and greatly impacted my marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Picture this. You're behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor. You're effortlessly breaking ground, moving piles of rocks just by moving a lever, and enjoying the sun as you clear brush across your pasture. We could keep trying to put you in the moment, but to really understand what this feels like, you just have to get in the seat.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
You have a life, places to go, things to do, people to see, but it's hard to enjoy life when you have pain. You don't have to live that way. Softwave Therapy from Premier Chiropractic in Roswell can help you. Softwave's cutting-edge technology is non-invasive and can help your body heal. This new technology uses therapeutic energy waves to activate the body's dormant stem cells to promote natural healing. Sessions are quick with short treatment times. Start healing today. Call Premier Chiropractic at 623-2900 or visit healthyroswell.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the iSite here in Roswell, amongst other places, but also now here in Roswell. John and Nathaniel are joining us in studio this morning. Good morning, gentlemen. How y'all doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Of course. Now, you actually are an optometrist, right?
No, so I'm a optometrist technician.
There you go.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
and then I think you're kind of the wizard that does all the numbers and everything.
Optician, yeah. I work with the lenses and definitely get my numbers all together.
Okay, very good here. Just kind of talking because and this is something when you may not realize it when you walk on the eyesight. I mean, you guys have you're pretty thorough as far as what tests you can run. What it's a lot more than just hold the spoon up to your eye and you can read the bottom line. All right, you need glasses. It's way more than that. You guys are checking, and so. So that's why I was kind of asking a technique, because there's so many, you have your actual opticians. They're the ones that are the doctor that's saying this is what's going on, but there's so many levels of the running the equipment, doing all this. So that's why I was kind of, there's more than just the eye doctor and kind of the clerical staff.
Yeah. A lot of moving parts in an optician's office.
Absolutely. So now the eyesight, now you guys have been, you're not new to the region. You guys have been in Artesia and various other places around. But you've been here in Roswell we were trying to do it, it's about 8 months. Is that about the right number?
So we opened January 9th.
January 9th.
Yes,
so we're getting into 10 months now here, going into 11 here. So.
Yeah, been going strong.
Excellent.
Happy to be here, happy to serve the community and take care of all the needs that have been neglected over the past couple of years.
Absolutely. Well, and that's something, and I'm guessing too, part of it's insurances and things like that, because that's and when you get into that insurance game and insurances are so different on what services they provide. So opticians and eye companies are usually, certain companies, things there's like, no, we don't, because we don't work with them. And so that does create a problem for some people. And so you guys have worked with, like, for instance, like Davis Vision. That's one I know if people, and that's the school districts. Mm-hmm. And this is a little personal. That's how I know this one firsthand. But that's what the school district provides. But a lot of opticians and things weren't accepting that. And so you're in town. You're like, we do accept Davis. Come see us if you haven't been able to see an eye doctor because no one takes your insurance. Guess what? We'll take your insurance.
We'll take it. Yes,
and that's a big deal. So I think over the last 10 months here, people are like, oh, there's a place that actually will take my insurance. I can come. Oh, by the way, they're very thorough and very good at what they do too on all that. But you know what I mean? And so I think just to offer something that people, think they have, and it's sometimes not always, that you're providing that now. And that's what Roswell needs to know is, hey, if you're one of those folks that your insurance was not jiving with a lot of people here, guess what? Come on down to the eyesight. We can work with you. We can take care of that, and we can make sure that you're seeing the way you should be.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So that's what we're here for. We're just here to, try to meet the needs that the community has. We accept Davis Vision, like you said, VSP, 90 degrees, Medicare. We're hoping to be credentialed with Medicaid soon, but that's a work in progress. Yeah, it's a very, very thorough process. So.
How did it just kind of talk about just kind of give folks a little bit of kind of the process a little bit. Like, so if someone wants to say that, maybe it's been a while, they haven't been in, or maybe they're bringing children in for the first time to check out their, what kind of just walk through like what they can expect for that experience to be like.
Yeah. So we have great staff in the office. They would walk up, the front desk, be welcomed with a smile. They would, we offer full health checks, so we do, retinal photos, macular scans, things like that. So they'll definitely be getting the best eye exam that they've probably ever gotten.
Sure.
Especially since we haven't had somebody around to do those kind of in-depth
thorough
checks
stuff
for a while. Yeah. So we try to make it a fast, easy, fun experience for everybody. So yeah, come by, see us, and we'll get you all scheduled.
Absolutely. And that's something that kind of where maybe this is something we could talk a little bit about, where, you see, because obviously we all go home, watch TV, and you see these commercials, and you always see commercials for glasses an hour and all these kind of quick kind of things. But it's, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that there's always an exchange or a sacrifice for, so if you want fast, you may not get thorough.
Yeah.
And so these places that promise these glasses in an hour or all these kind of things, they're probably doing bare minimal tests. They're as far as knowing the true health of your eye, you may not be getting the full exam that you think you're getting. Whereas eyesight ain't promise you glasses in an hour. But what they will promise you is that when you go in there, you walk out, you're going to know, how healthy your eyes are and what needs to be done to correct or nothing.
Yeah, you can go to a place that'll do your glasses in an hour and you can get a good product.
Sure.
But we want to pursue the best.
Sure.
For our
and
patients.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, you can get the best, but if the lens isn't right, because of it doesn't matter if you got Gucci frames or whatever high dollar bling you got on there.
yeah, that's true. And that's what I'd like to say sets us apart a little bit as well. Is
Sure.
We're willing to sit down and actually work with patients, whether there's a problem or not. We're going to look for a solution for that problem.
And it's one thing you do notice too is you really with the eye doctor and everybody, you talk lifestyle. It's like, what are you doing? What are you hoping to? And so they really work the glasses to work that angle. Like for me, for instance, I spend a lot of time on computers, but because I'm getting older now and I'm getting to like trifocal now. I'm getting to where there's just going to be line after line after line on this sucker. But anyway, it's really difficult to read computers and things because I got to go through one of those prisms. So I'm like, hold on. It's 7, I forgot them today. They're at the house, so I'm having a little. But so I have a pair of glasses that just let me look at computers and phones and things like that. And so that's where you guys work with folks. It's like, well, if you're not on that very much, you really don't need that kind of thing. But if you're spending like you're behind the wheel a lot, okay, well, we need to design your glasses to allow that.
Yeah. Oh, you hunt. So you work out on the shooting range.
Yeah.
You do a lot of computer work.
Yeah.
We find solutions to kind of match the lifestyle for that patient.
So it's more than just, hey, I want to see. It's like, well, what are you trying to do with it? It's kind of...
And what do you use your vision for the most?
Exactly. Yeah. And so let's make sure that those needs are being met as well, too. It's like, yeah, you're healthy here, but how can we tweak and make the glasses to a point where they are? And that's where, because once you talk to the eye doctor and everything, and you sit down and talk with the lens and the eyeglass side of things and actually getting to go in the fun part, picking your frames and, doing all that. Oh, does this look good? I don't know. I should go pink. What do you think? I have to get all that,
Yeah, do y'all have transparent?
And, then they sit down and that's where, that's when they're fitting you and they're telling me, and that's where they start saying, okay, we're going to design the way the aperture or whatever, it gets a little sciencey above my pay grade. But you know what I mean? They start talking that stuff and they're like, okay, that's going to create this and that's going to, okay, this is going to add a glare or take away a glare. So when you're driving a lot, this is going to be more beneficial to you. That's where you start. And that's where you guys really can kind of tweak and sit down and pick the perfect glasses and the perfect situation for each person.
We want the patient to be aware of how it's going to benefit them before we actually go to pursue to put 'em into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the experience when you come in, and so it's a lot of fun. I mean, no visit to a doctor when because you're doing the eye thing. After a while, you're like, oh man, my eyes. But yeah, that's the fun part is picking the glasses, and it's kind of because as much as it's a function, it's also a presentation of you. It's your personality. It's your the glasses you wear. If you got a guy with big crazy glasses, you're like, I bet that's a big personality person. You know what I mean? Someone that's got the more invisible.
How I also look at it is if someone's walking down the road and they see you in a pair of glasses and they go, oh, where did you get those glasses? I want them to know, like, oh, I trust that optician. I'm going to go to that place.
Those are sharp.
Now, if it's a bad looking pair of glasses, they're going to be, I don't think I'm going to go there.
So will you guys get fashion advice too? Maybe that blue's not your
If
color.
I have a pair of frames that aren't going to quite fit the script, I'm going to tell you. Like,
good.
Let's slowly roll a bit.
Because to be honest, we need that. We need, because let's face it, sometimes family and friends are nice to you. And they're not honest with you. Like, oh, yeah, you look good in that. No, you do not look good.
Yeah, those look great. Those are a bit wide.
Yeah, we want you to leave the eyesight seeing good, feeling good, and looking good.
Absolutely. So. And that's something, and because I literally, a personal experience not too long ago, I can say for certain, I walked in, the customer service is great, everyone's polite, attentive, very thorough. Eye exam was thorough. I wish my eyes were in better shape to give them something to look at, but it is what it is. You get older. But anyway, but yeah, and I can honestly say, and I was at that point where it's been a couple years, and like my glasses were getting, and I can tell you, just since I've gotten my new glasses in the last, I got them last week, so about almost a week now. I've been having them on now. My eyes are less stressed. I'm telling you right now. And just. I've had, I'd say, less headaches, not none, but a lot's gone on this week, and I've been busy, so I'm not attributing that to the glasses. But you know what I mean? I definitely can say that the update is definitely in the new glasses. It's made life a little easier for me over the last week here since I've been wearing them.
Good. Glad that we could have that impact on you.
It's nice to have the computer glasses again because I ain't gonna lie, because it gets to a point where I actually take these off to read because it's easier for me to read that stuff without my normal glasses on. So it was nice to I don't have to take them off.
That's my goal, is to make sure people aren't taking them off.
I can read it, and I don't have to take them off. Yeah. Sometimes I absentmindedly do it, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I don't need to.
These are my good glasses.
Let's forget.
Absolutely. Just as far as like children things, what's like the youngest that you guys can see and do all that? What's kind of that age range? And
so we like to start at 5 and up.
Okay.
Just so that way, we know that the child's going to be able to receive the good care.
Sure.
Things like that. And little kids' eyes they change every day almost. So
absolutely.
We want to start them off at the age where they're kind of getting steady and
absolutely.
Things like that. So 5 and up, we like to keep our
that's when you start
limit.
You start getting a baseline that you can measure, I guess you could say.
Exactly.
that works. And true, this is something else too, is like, because like we said earlier, there's a lot of equipment, a lot of technical stuff, and I imagine there's a lot of stuff, and people are like, all right, I'm going from station to station. I don't know, I'm just looking at things and they tell me I'm not really sure what they're doing here. Tell folks a little bit about like when you visit the various, like what kind of checks you're looking for, what kind of things that are you looking for in those.
What we're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
In our first room, you come in and we take a front surface mapping of your eye. We get to kind of know how rough and smooth your eye is in certain places, know exactly where to focus the light with your contacts or glasses.
Okay.
There's an Optos machine. It takes a picture of the back health of your eye, so you can see like your vessels, your optic nerve, your macula. People with diabetes usually have bleeding in their eyes if it goes untreated. So we use that Optos to kind of see the back health. It kind of takes place of dilating every visit. So that's good. And then
so it really actually that saves people, because usually dilate, now you got to bring a friend and drive them. Now you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, exactly. Just take a quick picture and you're good.
Technology's good sometimes.
Yeah, and then in our second room that we have a visual field test, so it helps like with people with glaucoma.
Okay.
If they lose peripheral vision, top bottom vision, things like that, we can kind of track those things.
And then those things are by default, if you are healthy, they're checking to see if you're having those issues as well too.
Yeah.
So if you're starting to show signs of glaucoma or diabetes, these machines will say, okay, you need to, and then that also determines, okay, you're going to need further
care,
eye care, and that's when you may have to go see an eye surgeon specialist or something above what they do at the eyesight.
No, exactly. Yeah, so that's pretty much what we do. We like to mainly monitor glaucoma, macular degeneration, things like that.
So for because we're in a world of routines and get your mammograms and this. For these kind of screenings, how often should people be checking this kind of stuff?
It depends on your age group. I would say if you're 30s, young 20s, 40s, maybe every couple years.
Obviously. And obviously you've been diagnosed with diabetes or something, you're going to want to check that a little more often to monitor progress.
Just depending on how severe the diabetes are, the macular degeneration, glaucoma, we usually do annual checks. Sometimes we do every 6 months. 3 months, just depending on the severity.
Does family history come into play on like glaucoma and something? Like if you have I don't know, I'm a little dumb on that.
Yeah, glaucoma, macular degeneration, there is a correlation with the, family members.
Okay, so if you do have a family history, maybe a little bit more frequent
your
for you.
chances are higher of
honestly, I would say,
yes, sir.
On average, for most people, a yearly eye exam is what's
pretty
recommended
sufficient for everybody.
Else,
and obviously, as you get older, that's in your younger days,
it becomes more important.
In your younger days, you may not need glasses every year. Your eyes are kind of, but you start hitting 40 and then 50, and then next thing you know, you're like, all right, you need a little thicker, need a little, amp this a little bit.
And it's not quite stable this year, so yeah.
So you might be every year needing to update those lenses a little bit. So, so age does come into play. The older we get, the more you need to see us, just kind of like the other doctors.
Yes, sir. So usually 40s is whenever people have to start that progressive, the bifocal.
Sure.
What is it? 65 is when people start to develop cataracts, things like that. So there are a couple of age groups, that we like to monitor closely, or, we not give more care to, but, we just look deeper into their concerns or their problems and things like that. So
what, because I imagine you get people that are probably experiencing, not everybody just comes in for an eye check. Sometimes they're actually having an eye issue and they want it looked at. What are some of those symptoms? Like if people are, like glaucoma, even some of the stuff with diabetes, what are some of the symptoms? Because generally speaking, if you're seeing symptoms, it's probably a little farther advanced, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that we, the biggest eye problem, the biggest thing is if you start to see flashes of light or a curtain, comes across your vision, that's usually signs of like a retinal detachment.
Okay.
Something that needs to be treated like as soon as possible.
Of course, there's probably pain involved with a retinal attachment.
And I mean, if you
probably
have
know
pain in the eye, that's definitely a good time.
Yeah, I mean,
anyway,
if your eye hurts, that's
if your eye's hurting, get into us as soon as possible.
Sure.
Yeah.
What about like eye dryness and things? We live in the desert. I mean, do you see a lot of people with that and doing
almost
a lot of
every patient?
Okay.
Almost every patient.
So I mean, is that something too? As part of, and we think of glasses, but your eye washes and things like, is that stuff that you guys also deal with and work with and stuff?
Oh
like
yeah,
that?
yeah. We have patients come in and they complain about not being able to see clear all the time, or having itchy, scratchy eyes, watery eyes, and so those are signs of typical dry eye. So.
Is it mostly allergy related, or it could be a number of 100 things? Or
a number of different things, but mostly it's just our environment being so dry outside.
It's desert and it's dry,
not having moist air not having moisture in the air, things like that.
So it's probably just a good idea to keep some kind of eye moisturizer.
Keep some eye drops. We like to recommend like Refresh, things like that. Sustain, the preservative-free types of.
Sure.
And Visine. That's a big red flag.
That's a big red flag.
Yeah.
What? So tell me, what's the big?
It's kind of like a nasal spray type thing.
Okay.
The more you use it, the more you need it.
Oh, so it does have it could have a potential addictive property. Okay.
Yes,
adverse.
I didn't think. See, I just think this is where, of course, this is what you guys do every day. But guys, like most of us were just like, eye drops or eye drops. You know what I mean? They make it okay. Now they don't burn anymore. They can blink. So so do your homework on that.
Yes, sir. Do your research. Watch the news. See what's being recalled. Things like that. So.
Absolutely. Of course, you guys have a website and everything. If folks want to, because I know a lot of people like to read and research and do stuff. What's the? I'm sure you could just Google the eyesight Roswell and it'll pop right up.
Our website is eyesight2020.com.
Okay.
It kind of just gives you.
That's not a year. That's vision, by the way. It's like, what if it's 2024? No, 2020 vision.
2020 vision. Yeah. Took me a while to catch on to that. Believe it or not.
Was it like the one day where everyone's working and all of a sudden he walks in, 2020's vision?
It's like, oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm feeling fly on that wall.
20 meters, vision at 20 meters.
And then he goes, who knew? And then he walks back into his office.
You guys know that it's 2020 vision, right?
But eyesight2020.com will
Yes,
get
sir.
you there, and you can read. You can also schedule an appointment if you choose, or you can always call or come by the eyesight.
Yeah, give us a call for sure. We'll answer any questions you have. Our staff is awesome.
Yeah.
And, if we don't know something, we'll find out that answer for you as soon as we can.
Absolutely. And good news, you guys were knock on blissing, flood everything. You guys, you're kind of on the edge watching.
Yeah.
But
luckily we got missed. I mean, we did get a little bit of damage on the inside with the floor, a little bit of our baseboard.
Well, you
issues,
find out
but-
how good your roof is on places like this too.
Yeah.
Regardless of flooding, you find out how good your roof is.
Yeah, that's true. But speaking of the flood, since we've been here, the community has been great, with helping us out and helping us get kicked off. So we wanted to do something to give back.
Awesome.
We're actually going to be a drop-off location for any type of donations, like clothing, shoes, and new socks and underwear. For kids, adults, just people that were directly affected by the floods.
Excellent. So if you've got those, you can drop them off at the eyesight anytime during business hours.
Anytime during business hours. We're open from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Excellent. So pretty much, if you're out and about Monday through Friday, you can bring them on by. And of course, if you have an appointment anyway, come on by. Maybe bring some socks and some underwear. Again, like I said, brand new.
Brand new.
Other clothing, but you can get away with gently used. But socks and underwear, we want new of those.
Yeah, definitely.
Please, for everyone's sake.
I won't take those underwear if they were that hard.
Absolutely. Well, great. So they can do that too. And of course, if you have any questions about what to bring, don't hesitate to call ahead and say, "Hey, I got this. Can you accept that?" And they'll be happy to tell you yes or no on that kind of thing. But schedule appointments now. Like we say, go online. What is the phone number at the main office here in Roswell?
It's going to be 575-465-3937.
That's the hardest question. Most people. What's your phone number?
Call
I don't know.
It's not very often.
That is like a Radio 101. It's the hardest question you ask people. What's your phone number? People don't know your phone number. I'm the same way. What's my phone number? Hold on.
Let me look.
Let me double check right quick.
Smartphones have made us dumber.
Yeah.
Because I know when I was a kid, every one of my best friends, I knew their phone numbers by heart and everything else. And I could boop, 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 boop.
Yep.
Now I can't remember my own phone number. They made us dumber. I'm telling you. And blinder. No, I'm Very good. Of course, and like we said, if you're nervous or anything, because I know some people, trust me. They really go and make it comfortable and make it as pleasant as possible. And part of it too is explanations. You do talk because that's a lot of people. If you don't know, and that's why I was kind of like the machine. You're sticking your eye on one machine, you're like, what are they doing? I don't know what's going on. And but you guys are really good. It's like, all right, we're checking for this now, this, and then you look at it, and like other things, when you see the scans later, it kind of looks like they're creating like think of like topography maps for like land and stuff, but for your eyeballs. And so you're kind of looking at it, you're like, here's a valley here and a crevice and they're explaining all that to you between the eye doctor and the technicians and things, and kind of so by the time you get out of there, you're smarter, and you're also you feel like you're part of the process of your own health care. And that's, I think, the biggest fear most people have is like, I don't know what's going on, or I don't have a say in it. And you guys, through personal experience, know firsthand that you guys navigate through that very well.
Yeah.
So, folks, if you have those kind of issues and stuff, eyesight will help you get through that. So whatever hangups you have, they can get you through it and get you seeing better and feeling better about everything. So good deal. Is there any information, anything that you guys wanted to share that I just started talking about other things and getting sidetracked on?
Pretty much the only thing, we just want to welcome all the community to come down and see us.
Yeah.
Schedule the appointments. If you don't have vision insurance and you need to come in and see us, there are ways that you could go, like VSP.com, and you can go and purchase a personal vision plan. And you can come down and use it that same day most of the time.
There's a will, there's a way.
Yes, sir. There's a will, there's a way. And we're going to try to help you get seeing better, address all the health concerns and things like that. So
it's, you should take, and this is something that modern medicine is as we evolve in medicine, we're learning more. And, as a kid, I'm a little older than you guys, but when I was a kid, medicine was very compartmentalized. You know what I mean? Where you go to the your family doctor for everything that isn't your teeth or your eyes, pretty much. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then you go to the dentist for your teeth, and then the eye doctor for your eyes. And there wasn't a whole lot of collaboration in the worlds. And then they started saying, oh, wait a minute, stuff that you do with your teeth impact your other health. Stuff that's going on with your eyes are indicators of other parts of your health. And now they're starting to incorporate the eye doctor, the dentist, into your total medicine package here. So I know people hit a certain age and they may neglect the things like the eye and teeth. Okay, that's secondary medicine. That's, luxury. You know what I mean? People neglect it because they don't put as much importance on it.
Yeah.
And what I'm telling you is, no, it's all connected. They're now finding out that if you work on your teeth, that impacts your heart. And Lord knows how many indicators your eyes tell you on what's going on with the rest of your body. Yeah. And so that's why it's so important that you pay attention to your eye health and your dental health, for that matter.
True. Because
of those issues. So if it's been a while, or if insurance was not your thing or not your ability, eyesight's here. Let's rectify all of that. Come get an appointment. Let's get a visit. Let's get you happy and healthy.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. Well, thank you, guys.
Hey, thank you for having us.
And I will see you probably in about a year or so, I think.
Tell your friends and family to come see us also.
I got an appointment, I think, for August of next year. So I will see you in August.
All right. Yes, sir. I'm going to hold you to that.
All right.
I think I got a card somewhere. Thank you, guys.
No problem.
Appreciate
You
it.
guys have a good one.
You too. All right. It is 8:47. Let's pause for news, quick break, and sports update as well. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cirillo. The Roswell Police Department is investigating a Monday night shooting that resulted in the death of a 46-year-old man. The shooting happened at or near the intersection of East 3rd Street and Orchard Avenue in East Roswell at about 10:45 Monday night. When officers got there, they found the unresponsive victim laying in the street. He had suffered what appeared to be a gunshot wound. He was rushed to a local hospital where he died a short time later. Anyone with information regarding the case is urged to call 575-624-6770. The Community Foundation of Southern New Mexico is seeking donations to help support Roswell and Chavez County flooding victims. The foundation is working with the New Mexico Office of Emergency Management and other county nonprofits. A prepared statement from the foundation says the Greatest Needs Impact Fund helps to support a timely response to urgent and crucial needs in southern New Mexico communities. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. We're down to the final week of the regular season. In fact, we're down to the last game for a lot of soccer teams, and that includes the Goddard Rockets, and it's a big one. The Rockets on Thursday at home. This is girls soccer. Will be able to wrap up the district if they can defeat Artesia. Goddard has a 5-0 district record, 13-5-1 overall. Artesia is 12-4-2 overall, and 4-1 in district, so just a game behind the Rockets. These two teams did play earlier this month. Goddard won in Artesia by a 1-0 count. Meanwhile, Roswell will be hosting Clovis Saturday night at 6. Roswell has a 10-9 record, 3-2 in district. Won't be able to catch Hobbs. Hobbs is 5-0, but it's a chance to look good for the playoff committee. Roswell will take on Clovis Thursday at 6 o'clock. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Meteorologist. Running a business is tough. Operational demands change fast, and keeping up can feel impossible. That's where DSI comes in. We've been helping local businesses thrive for over 25 years. You might know us for printer products, but we're your one-stop shop for cutting-edge office technology, from managed IT to video security, audio-visual technology, and more. DSI has everything you need. We're flexible, local, and have the resources of a national corporation. Be more productive. Make more money. DSI, the heartbeat of business. Visit DSINM.com.
Changed from yesterday morning because the big market moving investors wonder how much faster interest rates will come down now, because if they do come down much more anytime soon, that could set off more inflation. Demand for health care and healthcare employees keep rising. Quest Medical Labs of New Jersey says business is up 8%. But the high prices from inflation are getting old. A CBS News poll says only about 1/3 of voters say the economy is good. Sales reports say most all the growth in car sales now is in vehicles selling for $30,000 or less for used cars. And Associated Press says some who could afford to buy more expensive vehicles are not because of the high prices overall. At the average new car price of $47,000, it would cost $740 a month for almost 6 years to pay off the car. Sherwin-Williams says paint sales are down because of what they hope will be a lull in home remodeling until next year, depending on the real estate market and interest rates. McDonald's stock fell 9% after the close because of an E. coli outbreak in Quarter Pounders. I'm Joe Connolly with Business.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
This is Judge Janine Pirro with an important message. A mom and her son were being followed by a man in a parking lot. As he approached their car, she pulled out her Byrna launcher, and the sight of it was enough to make him flee. Byrna gives you the power to protect your family without lethal force. No permits, no background checks, just peace of mind. Visit Byrna.com and use code Janine for 10% off. Remember, Byrna isn't legal in New York City or Yonkers. Stay safe. Stay prepared with Byrna.
There's nothing more magical than 80,000 cubic feet of hot air flying overhead, hearing the burners shoot propane and inflate the envelope of beautiful colors right before your eyes. Whether this is your family's lifelong tradition or you are new to Southeast New Mexico, make plans to join us for Balloons and Tunes at Eagle Draw Park at dawn on Saturday and Sunday morning, November 2nd and 3rd. Seeing the balloons is just the start, but join us to hear the tunes too. Artesia Chamber, Artesia Main Street, and Artesia Arts Council have partnered up to bring you a concert event Friday, November 1st that will surely get you in the mood for hot air balloons. Join us at the corner of 5th and Texas Street for Balloons, Bands, and Brews, where you'll enjoy food, New Mexico brews, and live music, including the Artesia High School Marching Band, playing along with our hot air balloon pilots. All events are weather permitting, and more information can be found at artesiachamber.com. Balloons and Tunes, November 2nd and 3rd in Artesia, New Mexico. Book hotels direct for the best rates. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
At Artesia General Hospital, we know it's early, but schedule your mammogram today and save. Call 855-RAD-EXAM and save 10% off mammograms scheduled through October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And get a refreshing drink discount from Kith & Kin in Artesia or Blue House in Carlsbad. We use leading-edge, FDA-approved Genius 3D mammography technology to deliver more accurate results faster and with more comfort. Women over 40 do not need a referral for yearly screenings. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/mammogram. You have a life, places to go, things to do, people to see, but it's hard to enjoy life when you have pain. You don't have to live that way. Softwave Therapy from Premier Chiropractic in Roswell can help you. Softwave's cutting-edge technology is non-invasive and can help your body heal. This new technology uses therapeutic energy waves to activate the body's dormant stem cells to promote natural healing. Sessions are quick with short treatment times. Start healing today. Call Premier Chiropractic at 623-2900 or visit healthyroswell.com.
Check out some of the ghoulish bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Select jars of Classico pasta sauces are 2 for $5, and 48-ounce bags of Skinner elbow macaroni and long or thin spaghetti are $3.98 each. In produce, red or green seedless grapes are $1.99 a pound, and 3-pound bags of Washington Red Delicious apples are $1.99 each. In the meat department, Boston butt pork roasts are $1.49 a pound, and 10-pound bags of fryer leg quarters are 69 cents a pound. These are just some of the ghoulish specials you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
It's October, and that means it's time to paint Roswell Honda pink. We partnered up with the Chaves County Cancer Fund to help raise much-needed money, and we are gearing up for another amazing year. Roswell Honda is giving away some great prizes, including 4 designer purses from Coach, Kate Spade, and Michael Kors. Pretty in pink, of course. Stop by for a free entry or 3 entries with a qualified test drive. And that's not all. With rates as low as 1.9% and over 100 quality pre-owned vehicles on the lot, there's never been a better time to get get behind the wheel. Here's Joe Salzar to tell you all about it.
Don't let vehicle pricing rumors fool you. With Roswell Honda's market-based program tool, we are making it easier than ever to get the best deal in southeastern New Mexico. And with every vehicle sold in the month of October, we will donate $50 to the Chaves County Cancer Fund.
Join us Saturday, October 26th from 10 to 1 p.m. We will have a special performance by the Charlie's Angels. Bring cash to support the cause and purchase goods from our many vendors. Help us make it happen for the Chaves County Cancer Fund, and let's paint Roswell Honda pink.
Dion's is homegrown right here in New Mexico and is the perfect place for team dinners, family gatherings, and all of your catering needs. Stop by our location on South Main and West Wildy, where you can feed 5 for $35 plus tax with a large one-topping pizza and a family-size salad. With Dion's, we make it easy to bring together your favorite people with your favorite food. Visit Dion's.com to order ahead for dine-in or for pickup. That's Dion's.com. Dion's, where great food and good people meet.
Help benefit the Wounded Warrior Project with H.F. Sinclair, Saturday, November 9th at the Veterans Mission 5K Fun Run, Walk and Ride. This 5K Fun Run will begin and end at Beige Veterans Park in Artesia, and the course will take you around Eagle Draw, Walk or Run. Kids 6 and under can join on their bikes. Pre-registration is $25 for adults and teens, kids $10, and your four-legged companion only $5, with all proceeds to benefit Wounded Warriors. For more information or to sign up, visit hfsnm.com/veterans-mission-5K.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 8:57. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to replay our interview we had on Monday with Matt Bristol from Bristol Law. We talk a little bit of flood. It was right that first day, but mostly talking sage legal advice and stuff. So we're going to play that interview for you here next hour. Of course, Veterans Day is right around the corner here, just a couple weeks away. Of course, we are having the Veterans Day assembly and parade. That will be on the Saturday before Veterans Day. And then on Monday, Veterans Day itself, there's something going on, too. I'll tell you about in a second. But that Saturday, of course, they're going to have everything meeting on the courthouse lawn, and they'll do the parade. Actually, they'll start there on the courthouse lawn and head towards the Wool Bowl. And so that is happening on Veterans Day, or on that Saturday before Veterans Day, excuse me. But also, of course, now on November 7th, Goddard High School is going to be doing their Veterans Assembly, and they always go big. And that'll be from the assembly will be at 1:30. They'll have a reception from 1 to 1:25, and then at 1:30 they'll start the assembly. And all veterans, they love to have everyone come out. And veterans, if you've never been to a Veterans Assembly, please add Goddard to your list. Our schools do amazing, all of them. It's so impressive with each and every one. But for years, Goddard, they turned it into a rock concert, man. It's just a little different. It's just different what they do. So, and they really do. I don't know. Veterans, they make them treat them like rock stars. They treat. Like I said, all schools do great, but it's like a rock concert at the Goddard one. It's just insane. But I love to have everyone come on out for that, and that'll be on November 7th. But on Veterans Day itself, we had actually Dara Dana join us, who most of you know her as county commissioner, but another hat she wears is she is a daughter of the American Revolution, and she's a member of the a chapter here in Roswell. And the Daughters of the American Revolution, which I didn't learn until about a week ago, had a very good presence here in New Mexico. They're going to be doing a memorial dedication of a placard on Veterans Day at 1 p.m. at the Chaves County Courthouse lawn there on the Veterans Memorial. They got a spot right there for it and everything else. And they're going to do a ceremony. They're going to have music. I think NIMI's going to have some of their folks out there performing and all kinds of stuff. So that'll be on Veterans Day itself, that Monday at 1 p.m. On the courthouse lawn. All are invited to be a part of that. So that's just put on your calendar some veteran-related events and things happening as we get closer to Veterans Day here. All right, it is closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next. We'll be back on the other side.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Breaking news this hour at townhall.com. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. There is growing fear in some Democrat circles the presidential race could be slipping further away from Vice President Kamala Harris. Here's correspondent Bernie Bennett.
To be sure, Democrats still think Harris can defeat former President Trump. The margins are so close in the 7 battleground states likely to decide the contest, a shift toward either candidate or a mistake in the polling could be decisive. At the same time, Democrats are privately expressing worry that battleground polling appears to be moving in Trump's direction over the last 2 weeks. Cracks in the blue wall of Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin are starting to show, with Senate incumbents in both Pennsylvania and Wisconsin now in toss-up races, according to the Cook Political Report. The 3 northern states generally move in the same direction in the presidential race, but Harris has been losing ground to Trump in polls, particularly in Wisconsin. None of this is making Democrats feel better about an election day that is now less than 2 weeks away. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Former President Trump has a question for American voters, and he put it to those attending a rally last night in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? I don't think so. So I'm here today with a message of hope for all Americans. With your vote this election, I will end inflation. I will stop the invasion of criminals into our country.
And the former president said he is praying for those families in Asheville, North Carolina, still suffering from the devastation of Hurricane Helene. Federal officials say E. coli food poisoning linked to McDonald's Quarter Pounder hamburgers has sickened at least 49 people in 10 states. McDonald's USA President Joe Erlinger spoke about the problem today on NBC Today.
The onset dates for this disease are between, at this point, September 27th and October 11th. If there has been contaminated product within our supply chain, it's very likely worked itself through that supply chain already.
One person has died as a result of the outbreak, 10 others hospitalized. More from townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Tough times for Boeing. It reports a $6 billion loss in its third quarter. Today, Boeing workers vote on a new contract. Striking worker Bartley Stokes Sr. says the company should listen to its employees.
We're the ones that make it happen, building the airplane.
Results of the union vote are expected tonight. Denny's says it's closing 150 of its stores by the end of next year.
Denny's Chief Global Development Officer Stephen Dunn says in some cases the restaurants are no longer in good locations. He says other locations saw traffic shifts during the pandemic that have yet to reverse. I'm Mike Hempen.
It's been a disappointing start to pumpkin spice latte season for Starbucks. The Seattle coffee giant reports weaker than expected sales in its fiscal fourth quarter, which ended on September 29th. Revenue was off 3% amid weaker customer traffic in the U.S., China, and elsewhere. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Police have arrested a teenager in connection with the deaths of 5 people found fatally shot inside a home southeast of Seattle.
Authorities say several 911 callers reported the shooting in Fall City, Washington. Deputy Mike Mellis with the King County Sheriff's Office says officers acted swiftly when they got to the scene.
When deputies got here, they discovered sort of a chaotic scene, but what they did when they entered the property is they immediately took one young male, teenage male, into custody.
And that report from correspondent Haya Panjawi. The little Middle East country of Kuwait has banned the release of the video game Call of Duty Black Ops 6. It features a late Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein and is set in part of the 1990s Gulf War. The game is a key product for the Microsoft-owned developer Activision and is set to be released on Friday worldwide. More on these stories at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Bob Agnew.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres inviernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday.
Yes.
It is the middle of the week. Sun is shining. Weather's going to be nice today.
It is. Sun is warm, grass is green.
Start there.
Yes.
And go from there. Yeah, hopefully everyone's doing well, despite the situation we're all kind of sitting in at a particular moment. Things are starting to get back to normal. A lot of things started opening back up. I know a few of the city, not so much like the libraries and those places, but like I hear like landfill and the airports back open, and I think county and them, they're starting, they're back in business and things. Really, school is a big one that's still impacted, and then obviously some of these buildings and services that were directly, flood attacked. They're still, like you were seeing reports of, a couple days ago. I haven't heard much lately of if you got stuff at RPD, don't come. It's not that great here. It's pretty messed up.
Yeah. There's only so much they can deal with at a time.
Mm-hmm. So we're dealing with
Get
that.
in line, I guess.
But we're cleaning up from that, and we're starting to see some of those come back. And, hey, we're open, and starting to see some restaurants and things that were closed, or hey, we're back doing our thing, and so it's slowly coming together. It's just we're peeling back layers and finding new things and getting things we know back up and running as best we can.
So I found out about something just to kind of take our minds off of things, off of all the stuff that's been happening around us.
All right.
I found out about the story. It was on yesterday's news aggregate that I was watching, talking about this place called McCamey Manor. Have you ever heard of this?
I have.
I
saw a documentary on it.
Yeah.
This is messed up. I think I talked about this on the show a couple years ago when I saw the documentary.
Maybe?
Yeah, it's basically people play quite a bit of money.
Yeah. Well, no. Here's how. I'm not sure exactly how much they pay, but they have to, before they go in, they have to do like a background check.
Yeah.
They have to submit to a series of interviews, sign a 40-page waiver.
But basically, they torture you for a night or whatever it is, and
for the promise of $20,000 if you can make it out. But nobody's ever made it out.
Yeah. But from what I'm hearing, you pay. It's like, and so there's a documentary. I saw it on Hulu about 2-3 years ago, and I think, and if I remember right, it's not a documentary just about this. It's like part of
it was like a series of murders,
Scariest Places, or something like one of these kind of series. And this was one of the episodes on that manor. And the guy that's behind it, he's in jail now, right?
Well, no. Here's the thing:
is he back out? Or I think he went to jail for a while.
He was arrested for a minute, but he got out. School's calling. He got out and he proceeded to lawyer up. Basically, this is he's saying First Amendment rights. This is my right to free speech or free, process. And through loopholes, he's basically been able to open the house up again this year. Now, people who have gone through the house have said they've suffered so much as like being waterboarded on several occasions, being tased, having fingers broken, teeth ripped out or torn out.
The documentary, it was gruesome. It was a hard watch.
I am down for a good scare as much as the next guy, but
yeah, these are people that are dealing with some issues, and they're using this as a coping mechanism,
right?
And from most of us, you look at it and you're like, that is the most unfathomable thing I can think of. But for this small percentage of people,
that's their thing.
It just makes sense to them, and it's hard to fathom.
I could never. But yeah, people. I guess there's maybe a class action lawsuit or something being brought against the guy.
Well, but if I remember right too, like it's had to move because like different municipalities and things that it's been in, if I remember right, or said no, you can't do this.
Yeah, well, the towns tried to shut him down, but he moved out to like county. Essentially.
Yeah, like I know there's been some movement. So is it in the same location? That's where
It's in that same town. Just
I'm
outside
kind
of
of surprised it's still going because the way the documentary was like, yeah, this guy's been shut down. He's in jail.
Yeah, they're trying to get him shut down, this year and permanently. But as of right now, it's been opened back up.
Wow.
Like I don't. First of all, to have the knowledge that you're trying to get to the $20,000 at the end of the thing and nobody's ever done it, that seems a little sketchy.
Well, and that's why there's, and that's just it. You have, and that's it brought a very eclectic type of people.
Mm-hmm.
You had those people that are literally that desperate for money that will subject themselves to that, and that's the ones where it went south. I think because I think they were kind of like, whoa, I didn't think he was really going to bury me or whatever he's going to do.
He said there's, he'll only stop if they see severe physical or psychological damage being done.
Yeah.
So like if you're actually physically hurt, but they also said there's no safe words being put in place.
Yeah, say that.
Like banana, just, give them something.
There is not really much of a measuring stick to determine when you hit that point. But then you get the other type that are literally they get some kind of pleasure out of this, and then that's the ones that and that's where and I'm guessing, and I don't know, and I'm just trying to wrap my own head around why would people do this? Is this guy? He probably envisions himself as a healer of some sort to these other people.
Yeah.
I bet in his head, he thinks he's doing the Lord's work.
I've seen enough charismatic cult leaders out there to think that, this guy probably thinks he's on a mission to help people or something.
Yeah, but I honestly think that's where he's going. And because of that other
or he
side,
just gets off on it. I mean, one of the two.
And you know what? I'm going to say that's what really's going on, but it's rationalized in the other way. Is what's going on. But anyway, I have seen it, and yes, it is messed up.
That is crazy, though.
I'm kind of surprised that's coming back. I thought they shut that down.
Yeah, I think the documentary is called like Monster House or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But it's gruesome.
And I think it's the first episode.
Yeah.
Like of that series. That's how I saw it. Because I don't think I saw any past that one. I was like, I've had enough.
We're good. We're good.
I think I was like, I saw that one. I'm like, I'm not watching episode 2.
Jeez, out of the gate. Hit us with it, why don't you?
Yeah. So I do remember that one. But and I get in those weird moods every once in a while. Like I like a good mystery documentary series.
Sure.
Like that one about the Russian girl that pretended that she was on Dancing with the Stars or something like a week ago or a month ago.
The one who you're talking about something different.
Yeah, but
I was thinking of the one you're talking about. They found at the top of the hotel.
No, this is the one who's pretended that she had a rich daddy and got built millions of dollars out of rich people, thinking that, and then she went to jail for it. And it's a whole documentary series about it. And and she had a mysterious past, and she basically conned her way into the upper echelons of society and built them out of millions of dollars.
Really?
So she kind of has a Robin Hood aura to her to some people.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, she's just really good at being conniving.
I don't recall hearing about that.
But
one,
anyway,
actually.
she was just kicked off. She was on this season or whatever season of Dancing with the Stars.
Wait a second. Was this the one that was like known for like stealing or whatever? And when they asked her, what did you take away from Dancing with the Stars?
Yes,
she
yes,
got
yes.
defensive. Went nothing.
That's her. That's the one.
Now see that I remember.
That's the girl.
Okay.
It's a Netflix documentary all about
That's
her.
so great.
It's pretty entertaining.
Nothing. Why? What did you hear? Don't search my locker or anything.
Yeah, that's the one.
She's got a couple of sequin gowns in there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the. I can't remember the name of the documentary. But sorry, you got me that remembers this and not the.
I'll
important.
tell you what. I'll do some digging while you give us the rundown.
Yes, which I need to get going. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a bit. And then here in a few minutes, we're going to replay our interview we had with Matt Bristol from Bristol office on Monday, as usual, giving us good sage legal advice. And I have a complex every time I say sage now. Call me out on it. I just like saying it. Flows off the
Planted
tongue.
in your head.
But anyway, Matt will join us. And then later on, we'll get you up to date with news of local variety, and we'll try to work in that Cowboys report because they're so happy right now.
Oh, they need to be bashed over the head with this information.
Right.
Yeah, whatever the Cowboys report is, they need to hear it.
And I ain't gonna lie, and I don't feel bad about this at all.
Mm-hmm.
It is bittersweet that my team is doing so well right now, and the Cowboys are doing so not well.
That's great.
It is. It does.
Enjoy
add a
it.
little.
You know what? You've earned it. You've been through the slog. You've climbed through the mile-long pipe of poop to get to Zihuatanejo that you're at now.
I mean, I was in my comfort zone and was surrounded by my DC fans.
Mhm.
And for the most of my life, I've been married to a Cowboys fan. So I've been inundated with suckdom of Cowboys doing better things than Washington. And despite it, despite Cowboys making their fans mad every year,
Mhm.
Washington's been 10 times worse than that. And finally, we're not. And I'm like, it's so happy. I had a fleeting moment in 2012 with RG3. There was one good Thanksgiving I had that was just like
just a hint of a ray of light.
But that's it. Now I feel like I've got more. So too, I don't feel bad.
I don't blame you.
It's my time. It's my time.
My time up here.
It's like the Goonies. It's my time. Down here, it's my time.
The woman, by the way, that we were talking about is Anna Delvey.
There you go. I knew it was
and
something.
the documentary is called Inventing Anna.
There
It's
she blows.
Netflix.
That's it. Thank you, Sean, our resident expert on getting things that I don't know what they are.
Just good with the thumbs, man. Just good with the thumbs.
All right, 9:16. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure is parked in the central Rockies, and that's covering our area, so we'll stay mild today, mid to upper 80s, and we get lots of sunshine. Overnight looks clear with low to mid 50s, and then we're in the upper 80s and low 90s across the area on Thursday. Looks like we'll have another sunny day. Quick cold front moving in on Thursday night. No rain with that, but it will be a little cooler on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, I don't think I refreshed my weather, and I apologize for that. So let me hit a good refresh there. Currently 60 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 52% with winds out of the north at 3 miles per hour. We're looking at a nice day today, sunny, 84. Winds will be out of the east at around 5 miles per hour. Clear tonight, 49 for an overnight low. Winds will be out of the west at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, 88 for a high. Winds out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Friday, mostly sunny, cooler, 74. So we're going to go from 88 tomorrow to 74 on Friday. North winds 5 to 15. And then for the weekend, we're going to stay in the 70s on Saturday, sunny and 76 for a high. And then we'll jump back into the upper 80s on Sunday, sunny, 88 for a high. And then we'll be in upper to mid 80s for at least the first half of next week. Looks like it might get breezy on Tuesday. We'll see how that shapes up as we get closer. All right, it is 18 minutes after 9. We're going to take a 2.5-minute break. Then we're going to play our interview with Matt Bristol from Bristol Law on the other side. Don't go away.
Are you ready to succeed? Earn your FFA certification through ENMU Roswell's Aviation Maintenance Technology Program. ENMU Roswell has the only FFA Part 147 airframe and power plant school in Southeast New Mexico. Receive commercial and general aviation training, hands-on training with operation aircraft, Boeing commercial experience, advanced composite repair training, and more. And ENMU Roswell offers in-state tuition for veterans too. Learn more about this exciting program on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Success starts here.
You there! What are these?
My glasses, Your Highness.
They're incredible. Who made these?
The eyesight in Roswell. Or was it Hobbs? Or maybe Carlsbad.
So well crafted and stylish.
So, the eyesight thinks they can challenge my throne with their quality eyewear.
Actually, Your Majesty, I got 2 pair and an eye exam. It was so easy. I did it during my lunch break, and they even took my insurance.
Lunch break? Who gave you a lunch break?
Human resources, Your Majesty.
Silence! I'll get you eyesight!
The Eyesight, now accepting new patients 5 and up in Roswell, Hobbs, and Carlsbad.
3 locations?
Clearly the best in sight. At Martine's Capital Cafe, come in and enjoy a delicious variety for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try our burritos, huevos rancheros, asado, chorizo, sausage, flantas, fajitas, chili rellenos, quesadillas, enchiladas, sopapillas, and don't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger and so much more. Everything is prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Martine's Capital Cafe. Quality, value, tradition, and the most delicious New Mexican food since 1989. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th Street in Roswell.
Hi, I'm Chef Anthony Noble at the Valley Cafe located at 801 West Brasher in Roswell. We want to welcome you for dinner 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays, except Wednesday we close at 2 p.m. If you haven't tried our food yet, I hope you come try one of our dinner entrees, pasta, soups, salads, burgers, and sandwiches, and our weekly specials as well. Let me make you great dinner. Visit the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell.
Can't see us in person? Find our full menu on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Matt Bristol with Bristol Law Office back with us. Good morning, Matt.
Morning, Mike. How are you doing?
Doing good. I hope you and your family and everybody, all your employees and everybody do okay during the weekend storms and everything.
Yeah, I think we did okay. One of my ladies' brother lived out near Midway in a pretty flat area, so I think he got some flooding. But I think my ladies were okay, but some of them doubled up with family that had some water issues. Fortunately, we didn't have any water issues, so that was knock on wood kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of thing. Looking out here. Well, that's good to hear. And of course, folks, obviously, some of the stuff we're probably talk about here, probably not the most front of mind things for the folks at the moment here, but it could be at some things. But if you've got issues going on out there, obviously damage stuff, doing your cleanups, but file your reports, your insurance, and let them do. Hopefully, for those that don't have flood insurance, I don't know how they're going to deal with some of that stuff here because.
I don't know.
That's not exactly something that a lot of people. I mean, obviously, you live in the flood districts and floodplains; they require it. But those places that don't, which there's a lot around here, they may not have it. So this could be a little sticky wicket for some folks down as the figure out who's going to pay for some of this cleanup comes around. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a mess. But I'm sure that we'll have a lot of insurance agents in town looking at stuff.
Oh yeah, you think it's bad when the hailstorms and the hail? Wait till the flood comes through.
So, I'm sure they arrived yesterday.
Be leery of car sales too. It's you always hear those. Won't be here. It'll be somewhere else. But all those cars from over at Roswell Ford end up in Georgia somewhere. They're trying to sell them.
Yeah, I mean, where did those cars go? Oh my God!
Yeah, they lost the entire inventory pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean, the ones that didn't float away were resting on light poles and everything over there, so it was pretty bad.
Well, the engines flooded out.
Oh yeah, those cars are ruined. But,
yeah,
you always hear that during hurricanes and stuff. There's always those reports of all those inventory vehicles that they got running
sold somewhere else.
Yeah, and they're lemons. And what happens is they get them running and get them going, but none of the warranties, none of the parts. You know what I mean? None of the things it's supposed to do does after a while. So. But anyway, another story for another day. But of course, for folks not familiar, Matt joins us each month, and we talk just sage legal advice. It could be family law stuff, family planning, financial planning, could be business related on small businesses, things like that. It's a hodgepodge each month, a little different. So
yeah. So I'd kind of set out a 12-month schedule just so that I didn't have to try to think of something every month, trying to make my life a little easier.
Sure.
And so funny stuff is October talks about, asset protection and bankruptcy stuff.
Okay.
So hopefully this doesn't cause anybody to go there. But so if people got mortgage insurance, maybe this will pay off.
Absolutely.
Hopefully so, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to, I imagine, like today, most people are going to be thinking about, immediate needs and things here.
Oh, yeah.
But here in the next week or two, when assessments are done, insurance, and deciding if things are still fixable or not fixable or whatever, we're going to be talking a lot of this stuff. So, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of resources. Talk to your insurance folks. Matt deals a little bit different stuff, but certainly he can help where he can help here. So
yeah, I don't do much insurance. Don't know much about it.
Yeah.
But for if someone's struggling with bills, is there a minimum amount you have to owe to file bankruptcy?
I imagine there's got to be a percentage or something that there is, but maybe there isn't. I don't know.
Actually, no.
No? Okay.
There's no minimum.
Okay.
Are you required to be bankrupt to file bankruptcy?
I guess not.
No.
I mean, I don't know why you would if you're not.
Right.
But
practically
I guess
speaking,
there's no law against you being stupid if you want to be.
Well, you could have the winning lottery ticket in your pocket and still file bankruptcy. So there's no requirement you actually be we refer to it as bankrupt.
Yeah.
It's kind of an interesting deal. So how old are the bankruptcy laws, do you think?
Probably ancient.
Pretty much. They were in England before the United States was the United States. In fact, it's mentioned in the Constitution. It's that old.
Okay. So we're talking, what?
Hundreds of years.
I'll say, 1600s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been around a long time. Yeah. So, I mean, it's evolved over time.
Sure.
And they used to have debtors' prisons.
I'm about
we
to
don't
say,
have those anymore.
Yeah, we don't have those anymore. Although, maybe we ought to rethink some of this. Anyway.
Let's see. And so if your parents pass and they owe a lot of credit card or other debts, do the adult children inherit their parents' debt?
The answer is no, isn't it?
The answer is no.
Yeah.
Not for like 150, 70 years. Yeah.
Yeah. However, it always seems that people want to try to pay the, you know what I mean? If there's an estate, you want to pay the bills, but if they can't, you're not on the hook for it. The estate is, if it's available, but they can't get blood from a turnip sometimes. So good luck with that.
Yeah, but in the old days, the children did inherit the debt, and which is,
Now the estate inherits the debt, so if there's an ability for the estate to pay the bill, you're obligated to pay the bill. But they can't come after you for that money if the estate can't pay for it. So.
Right, so be careful. But there's subtlety. So, and I unfortunately see a lot of people that say, well, I paid all this stuff. And I'm like, well, you didn't have to pay some of that stuff, and you should have kind of talked to me first.
Yeah, there's a and that's, you know what, if this is the kid, because that's exactly, because you and I have had that conversation on the radio before. It's like, did you pay off the car? I mean, if you're just nice, but if you're trying to protect it, maybe there's another way to do this legally.
So, well, there's financial reasons you might pay off the house or not pay off the house.
Yeah.
And
but again, that's where you need to talk one-on-one with your case and see if that's beneficial or not. That's
exactly
that's not just something you throw blanket advice at. That's in a case-by-case basis type deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I recently had a widow ask, well, did I inherit my husband's credit cards? I don't know anything about them. And he never told me he had them, and I never signed on them. And do I inherit that debt? And the answer is, well, no, but because it was a community debt.
I would say it's a joint asset or a joint liability.
It's a joint liability, whether you knew about it or not. So you're liable in that respect.
Yeah, because you guys are joined at the hip with all your finances, then anything they owe, you technically owe still.
Right.
Yeah.
But how many community property states are there?
Not many.
Yes, 8.
8.
So what happens?
I know we're one of them, but there ain't many.
Right. So what happens is you have all these other states with different laws a lot of times, and so you call them up and say, "Hey, this card was in my spouse's name only," and they'll go, "Oh, okay, we'll close it out." and they don't realize community property estate is different.
Sure.
And then a lot of times they don't come after the surviving spouse.
Gotcha. Now, don't go sharing that information with them, but if you go cancel it, odds are they probably won't question it.
Yeah, don't volunteer.
Yeah.
No.
Hi, I live in a community property state. I would like to cancel my... Yeah, don't do that. You're all bad at playing certain poker games, I'm guessing.
Yeah, don't pay nothing you don't have to.
That's right. That's free legal advice right there.
Yeah. So how far behind on your monthly credit card payments do you have to be to file a bankruptcy? Do you think?
I mean, there's probably no set date, but in my head, I'm going to say, I don't know, 6 months.
You don't have to be behind at all.
Yeah, I kind of figured that because that's just the way these laws go, but it should be like 6 months.
Well, you're not required to be behind. And in fact, on the car and the house, you don't want to be behind.
Gotcha.
Because there's, and so in the bank, one of the things in the bankruptcy is, am I going to lose my car? Am I going to lose my house? And the answer is, well, not if you're current.
Gotcha. But if you're a couple months behind, they're like,
things get a little dicey. So you can choose to keep paying on the collateral if you want.
Okay. Now, does it matter what the house versus the car? Does one carry more? If you're behind on the car, I mean, they would be quicker to take that than the house, or would they? Or is it the same?
Well, the thing is if you're current, and you want to keep the car, then in the bankruptcy you can say, but I want to keep paying on it. And as long as you follow certain steps, I mean, they're stuck with that.
Sure.
But if you're behind on the car, then they don't have to go along with that if they don't want to.
Okay. Now, is a little behind good as caught up in this world? Or like if you're only like a month behind,
then you're behind.
Okay. I didn't know if they treated it versus, no, you haven't made a payment in 6 months versus you have made a payment in a month.
No, if you're behind, you're behind.
Gotcha. I guess, does the judge get discretion there at that point?
It's not a whole lot left up to him.
Okay. I didn't know if there was a gray area of behindness. Like, you're just a couple weeks behind versus, no, you haven't made a payment since 1982 or whatever.
22.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, unfortunately, because the credit card companies that are on the phone all the time. So they end up paying the credit cards and get behind on the house or car.
Gotcha.
And so we say, okay, well, stop paying the credit cards because you're going to dump them in the bankruptcy anyway.
Gotcha.
So the unsecured creditors in the bankruptcy, those are the guys that go away.
Gotcha.
So those would be credit cards, payday loans, medical bills, people without collateral, the people that generally get wiped out in, like say, what's called a Chapter 7. Oh, that's a good question. Why is it called a Chapter 7 bankruptcy?
Because it came between 6 and 8 in the code.
Pretty much. That's exactly right. It's the 7th chapter of the bankruptcy book. Yeah.
I didn't think of anything more fancier than that. Because 6 is already taken and they haven't done 8 yet.
Yeah. That's exactly right. That's called Chapter 13 or Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Just happens to be
chapters in a book.
That's kind of like those amendments, just had to be the next one up.
Yeah.
No rhyme or reason for it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So with motor vehicles, creditors can require that you sign what's called a reaffirmation agreement.
Okay.
So if you say, I want to keep the car, they can force what's called a reaffirmation agreement. And it's an agreement that says, I reaffirm the debt and I'll promise to pay for the car. And if I don't, you can and will sue me and garnish my wages.
Gotcha.
So that's a pretty ugly thing. So we try to avoid that. But, they can force it to either sign this or gives the keys kind of thing.
Of course, I guess if you make your payments, and that's not a problem anyway, I guess.
So that's roll the dice is, what if I don't sign and keep making my payments? And so that's a roll the dice. So technically, can they come get it? Yeah. Most of the time, do they? No.
Gotcha.
They don't make money repossessing. They make money off that interest, off the monthly payment.
Gotcha. So, makes sense. Very good. Of course, obviously, when you're going through these, this is why you need to have someone like Matt in your corner to ask these questions. Whenever you're found for bankruptcy or dealing with these issues, these aren't things you just try to file and do on your loan or on your own here is something, especially
Yes.
the more complicated your finances are.
Well-
you know, the more you definitely want, because if there's things that are protectable versus aren't, and if you don't do that right, you could end up hurting yourself big time.
Yeah. So, are you allowed to do it yourself if you want? Yeah. But, they use certain words, and if you don't know what those words mean, so one of their words they use are exemptions. Okay. What do you claim as exempt? And the average person will go, well, I don't know. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, exactly. Why are you doing the paperwork if you don't know what those words mean? You get in a heap of trouble. So, how many cars are you allowed to keep in a bankruptcy?
I guess as many as you can pay for.
Sort of. So you're per person, you're allowed up to $10,000 worth of equity or positive net worth.
So it depends on how nice the cars they are.
Right. So if you're upside down, you only have zero equity.
Gotcha.
But you're allowed up to $10,000 positive equity.
Okay.
Now I'll say, well, gee, but I paid off my car and it's worth more than 10. Am I going to lose my car? And the answer is not necessarily, because they do give you a miscellaneous pot.
Okay.
So I think it's around $15,000 miscellaneous money that you could use to protect extra equity in the car, or if you have some cash or extra jewelry, something like that.
What if the vehicle's paid for?
There you go. That's where that extra pot of money comes in.
Gotcha. But so if it's paid for and you file for bankruptcy, they can't seize that as an asset per se?
Well, again, you're allowed to protect the first $10,000.
Just 10 of it, okay.
Of worth of motor vehicle. Then
all
you
right.
got that
so that
pot.
counts even if it's not something you're currently paying on.
Right.
Very good.
So even if it's paid off.
Gotcha.
Yeah, then you got that little extra pot of money just in case.
Gotcha.
But, most people, unfortunately, are still paying on their cars.
Of course, that's probably when they get shady deals, like I sold it to my brother for $1 and it's...
Oh, they have that question. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't own that Jeep. I sold it to my brother for $1. It's it's his now.
Yeah, they have that question. It's in the last 2 years. Is there anything you used to have you don't have anymore?
Yeah.
And so it's in the last 2 years, have you sold anything, given anything away?
Yeah.
Given anything as collateral? Falls within that category.
Yeah.
So
you could still make that argument. It's like, I gave it to him for $1 because it's my brother. If it was some other guy, I would have sold him to him for $1,000. I mean, you could make that argument. I don't know if it'll hold up in court.
Nope.
No, it wouldn't.
No, I sold my $28,000 Harley to my brother for $1. Is not going to hold up.
Okay.
Oh, but I love my brother, so I gave him a sweetheart deal. No.
What about son or daughter?
No, no, especially not unless it's fair market value.
Okay.
If you sell for fair market value, you're okay.
All right, cool.
If it's less than fair
because
market,
people do that. It's like, all right, I got to charge you, so I'll give you $1, but I want you to do that because I like it.
well, then don't.
Most people aren't doing that. They're doing it for what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But there is those cases where people are just kind.
Well, parents will do things for kids.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
just don't do it within 2 years of the bankruptcy.
Yeah. If you do file for bankruptcy, you have to do it. Tell them to head for the hills with that vehicle so they can't find them.
Yeah, because they'll go take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, years ago, I had a little old lady come talk to me, and she was just diagnosed with cancer, and was concerned with this cost of the cancer treatment and things. And she had just, because she'd been diagnosed, she put her son's name on the house in case she passed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a transfer of a property interest, right? So I'm thinking, is this going to be one of those transfers that the bankruptcy court might be upset about at some point in the future? And so I had her run a credit report, and she had absolutely no debt. And so on these fraudulent transfer things, they look at the time you made the transfer, were you, quote, insolvent? Did your debts exceed your assets? Well, in her case, she had no debt. She wasn't insolvent.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, you keep a copy of the credit report, I'll keep a copy, and, we'll see how things go with your treatment. And so she went through the treatment, cancer-free, she was fine, thank goodness, but had all these, medical bills. And so we waited 2 years, 6 months from her adding her son onto the house. We filed bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, there's a 2 to 4 year look back period, and the trustee says, "Hey, ma'am, in the last 4 years, have you transferred any property?" And it's like, dang. So she says, "Well, yeah, I put my son on the house, you know." And so the trustee's got this big grin about how he's going to, take the house away from her. And so I whipped out the credit report. She was not insolvent at the time of the transfer.
So
he had to leave her alone.
Yeah, that was yeah.
So that was good planning.
There's
good
evidence
thinking
that she wasn't
ahead.
doing this for nefarious purposes.
That's right. But we did it the right way, 2 years in advance, just to be careful.
Well, and that's kind of cold-blooded. Like, the lady just went through cancer and everything. I mean, it's like, you want to look like literally the guy with the curly evil mustache? That's the way to do it.
Oh, yeah, I was just looking at his lips. Like, oh my God.
He's like, well, you're going to, tire to train tracks next? That's what they're
Well, fortunately, they've expanded the homestead exemption.
Okay.
So under state law, Mike can protect $150,000 worth of equity in a home.
Okay.
And Kim can protect $150,000 of equity in a home.
And around here,
it's
that'll get you somewhere.
Oh, yeah, huge exemption. Yeah.
DC, not so much. But here, you're not going to get much house protected for 150 there. But here, a lot.
Yeah. So, and then they got this little clause of if your spouse passes away, but you file bankruptcy within a few months after that, you can still claim the spouse's exemption. Kind of a little twist there.
Okay.
But I mean, that's a huge exemption for people to help keep their homesteads.
Mm-hmm. Well, and at the end of the day, that's the thing. When people talk about that's the house. So it makes sense that it's a little bit harder to just up and procure. Like that, although it's you now see these. That's something. Maybe we ought to talk about that one day. As
What's
a
that?
thing is I know it kind of settled down now, but there was a thing with the squatters and people losing their houses and their deeds getting turned over online and all that stuff.
There's some fraudulent.
Yeah. One of these days, how does that even happen? I don't even understand how that happened.
That happened to Graceland.
They did it?
Yeah. Within the last year, I think. So somebody had forged mortgage papers, and so they went to foreclose on Graceland. I mean, what if you're going to do this? Why are you going to pick somebody that famous,
Right, I'm about to say, you think someone's going to sniff that one out at some point. It's like, wait a minute, this address is...
So whoever owns Graceland, I mean,
I'm sure it's the Presley family in some way, shape, or I don't know if it's...
I don't know.
I think it's the granddaughter now of Lisa Marie, or Lisa Marie's daughter.
Man, they called a quick court hearing, and they drug in the notary.
Yeah.
And they said, did you notarize this mortgage for Graceland? The notary says, nope. No idea. It's not my signature.
Yeah.
It's forged.
I'm glad they sniffed that one out, but how many of those don't get sniffed out, And so that's kind
of weird.
That might be something we talk about in the future here.
Sure.
I know we're running a little short on time here. Yeah, it's about 1:45 here, and I got to get all this hurricane flooding stuff.
Okay.
So you get some of that more information on that out here too.
Okay.
But is there any other things we definitely want to make sure that we want to cover here that we kind of skipped over?
There's 4 sections of the paperwork, and one of the sections is a budget.
Okay.
And so hardly meet anybody that's ever done a written budget by the time they get to me. So some people, once we look at their budget, they have a budget issue, not a debt issue, and they don't have to file the bankruptcy.
They can avoid bankruptcy altogether. And
and the budget is designed to help you save money in advance to pay for things that go wrong. And that's the good part of the budget.
Was bookkeeping classes in lawyer school when you go to?
Not in law school, but in a previous life, I was a bookkeeper.
I got you. I was about to say, and I was like, they have a whole bookkeeping accounting section in lawyer school there.
No. That's why we didn't go become accountants. We can't count.
Well, I remember when they showed up them ledgers in accounting class, I said, I'm out. I did nope, I'm not dealing with it. My wife likes that stuff. Me, not so much.
Yeah, I didn't like the way they taught it. I didn't like.
Yeah.
But now that I've actually know how to keep books, I understand what they're saying now. Sure. But at the time, it's like, what are you talking about?
As a small business owner, you probably had to learn that one on your own there. A little
well, if you want to stay in business, you learn that stuff. You sure do.
Yeah. Sink or swim kind of thing. So.
Well, it's like eating your broccoli. You just got to learn how to do it.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. But of course, if you have questions about anything now, if you got family law issues, stuff like that, Matt can help out there too.
Yep, we do that too.
Planning, wills, all those kinds of things. Definitely reach out to Matt if you're ready to do those types of work.
We are not doing court cases anymore. Stop taking litigation cases.
Okay.
It's going to kind of slow down a little bit.
So kind of doing, but if you need the kind of the maintenance law kind of stuff, getting those wills and done, making sure your powers of attorney are done and all those kinds of
uncontested probates, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, things that don't require contests.
And, of course, just legal advice. And that's the great thing, too. If you have anything, whether you think you need a lawyer or not, please reach out to Matt. He'll sit down and talk with you, and he'll tell you exactly, you need a lawyer. Or, nope, you fill this out, and you're done with it.
BristolLawOffice.net, and you can call us at 625-5284.
Yeah, we've got time for a little fact or fiction if you want to hit us with some of that.
So, so the Greek word for contest.
Okay.
Is, any idea?
Greek word for contest. No, I have no idea.
Like Olympic contest, wrestling contest, running contest. So it was the Greek word was agonia.
Agonia, okay.
Agonia because you tried so hard, you were in agony. That's where you get the word agony comes from.
Yeah, we'll see. And if anybody of a certain age watched Wide World of Sports, the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. That's just something that's been ingrained in my head ever since I was a kid.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And they showed the guy tumbling down the mountain on the skiing. Usually around the agony of defeat, you see the guy getting tumbleweeded down the ski jump mountain there.
That must have hurt really bad.
Yeah.
But that's through the Greeks. That's how important the contest was.
Interesting.
You tried that hard.
Interesting. Now I want to work the word agony in more of my vocabulary today. Well, the flooding talk shouldn't be too difficult. So.
Yeah.
Matt, as always, appreciate it. Of course, folks have any questions or anything,
please give us a ring. Yeah,
BristolLawOffice.net.
.net.
Yes, I got it right this time.
Awesome.
And, of course, don't hesitate to reach out, and he'll be happy to take care of you.
And, Mike, and I hope everybody out there is safe today and stays safe and recover quickly.
Yes, be careful and, get out there, get cleaning up, and hopefully everyone will all get through this. It's just and to be honest, you kind of look through town and there's some real bad parts, but we'll get through it. You kind of look and there's parts and you kind of see like the one that gets me is the cars just sitting on its side in various places and things like that.
That's how powerful water is.
It looks a little apocalyptic that way, and it's very. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it. So thank you, Matt, as always.
Thanks, Mike.
And we'll see you next time.
All right.
Glad you and your family and everybody at your
now for a Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Sorello. The Roswell Police Department is investigating a Monday night shooting that resulted in the death of a 46-year-old man. The shooting happened at or near the intersection of East 3rd Street and Orchard Avenue in East Roswell at about 10:45 Monday night. When officers got there, they found the unresponsive victim laying in the street. He had suffered what appeared to be a gunshot wound. He was rushed to a local hospital where he died a short time later. Anyone with information regarding the case is urged to call 575-624-6770. The Community Foundation of Southern New Mexico is seeking donations to help support Roswell and Chavez County flooding victims. The foundation is working with the New Mexico Office of Emergency Management and other county nonprofits. A prepared statement from the foundation says the Greatest Needs Impact Fund helps to support a timely response to urgent and crucial needs in southern New Mexico communities. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Saddest story I saw is, give up your dreams of a backyard in the American dream. Maybe you need to settle for a townhouse because the economy's never coming back. That's just wrong. I can tell you how we could be the richest country on earth. It's all energy. We have more energy resources than any country on earth. Drill, baby, drill. Frack, baby, frack. It will take care of all of our European countries, friends, allies. They'll no longer be dependent on Vladimir Putin. And that will make America the richest country on earth. Why do you think all these Middle Eastern countries are so rich? It's all oil. And we have more oil, natural gas, which is a clean burning gas, than they do. And we're just too stupid to tap into it. And we probably could eliminate after a number of years. We could pay off the debt.
The Conservative Underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
Kamala Harris, the liberal California politician, the farthest left major candidate we've ever seen, could become the next president of the United States of America. This should frighten you to the core. She supported open borders. She's failed us as the current borders are. And she even helped raise money to get criminals out of jail. This could be a disaster not only for our safety, but the economy at large. Have you seen her new tax plan? It could be the nail in the coffin for our country. That's why you need to stop what you're doing right now and reach out to the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco. Goldco has over 6,000 five-star reviews and has helped people just like you purchase over $2.5 billion in gold and silver. Call 855-815-GOLD to get your free 2024 gold and silver kit, plus up to a 10% instant match on bonus silver for qualified accounts. Call 855-815-GOLD. That's 855-815-GOLD.
Paid for by Goldco.
With your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales. With a stagnant run game, the offense has relied on the pass. Dak Prescott tells you about a key contributor he thinks can step up Sunday night at the 49ers, right after this.
A true Dallas Cowboys fan is there for the journey and the destination. This is the season to make your journey count by flying through McAllen International Airport, the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. Whether you're flying down for McAllen's award-winning fall and holiday festivals, or you're a South Texas fan flying up to cheer the Cowboys on, make your journey as satisfying as your destination at the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. McAllen International Airport, above, beyond, at McAllenAirport.com.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
The Cowboys are preparing for a Sunday night showdown at the 49ers, who are missing key offensive weapons like running back Christian McCaffrey and wide receiver Brandon Ayuk because of injury. The Cowboys' offense, which is worst in the NFL in rushing, has had to turn to the passing game out of necessity. With Brandon Cooks still sidelined with a knee infection, Dak Prescott notes the emergence of Jalen Tolbert.
The guys put in tons of work. Holds yourself to high standards. Now it's all carrying over once again, and I told him this offseason, you need to make that same jump you did after that first year into this year. He's on that trajectory, and super proud of him.
One more wide receiver note, San Francisco isn't sure if Deebo Samuel will be back by Sunday. He was released from the hospital yesterday after being admitted early in the week for pneumonia. With your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure is parked in the central Rockies, and that's covering our area, so we'll stay mild today, mid to upper 80s, and we get lots of sunshine. Overnight looks clear with low to mid 50s, and then we're in the upper 80s and low 90s across the area on Thursday. Looks like we'll have another sunny day. Quick cold front moving in on Thursday night. No rain with that, but it will be a little cooler on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew. Boeing reports a $6 billion loss in its third quarter. Today, Boeing workers vote on a new contract. Striking worker Bartley Stokes Sr. says the company should listen to its employees.
We're the ones that make it happen, building the airplane.
Results of the union vote expected tonight. Denny's says it's closing 150 of its stores by the end of next year.
Denny's Chief Global Development Officer Stephen Dunn says in some cases the restaurants are no longer in good locations. He says other locations saw traffic shifts during the pandemic that have yet to reverse. I'm Mike Hempen.
It's been a disappointing start to pumpkin spice latte season for Starbucks. The Seattle coffee giant reports weaker than expected sales in its fiscal fourth quarter, which ended September 29th. Revenue was off 3% amid weaker customer traffic in the U.S., China, and elsewhere. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew.
Join us on Saturday, October 26th, 1 to 3 p.m. for a Halloween trunk or treat at Foxworth Galbraith Home Improvement Center in Roswell. Enjoy safe trick-or-treating, pumpkin decorating, spin the wheel, giveaways, and fun for the whole family. Go where the pros shop for great service, experienced help, and competitive prices. Foxworth Galbraith in Roswell, New Mexico. We'll see you on October 26th.
You deserve to enjoy your health. You deserve to enjoy your passions. We're here to make that easy. If you're over 65, Medicare is yours, and New Mexico Aging Services is your expert, unbiased guide to finding the best plan for you at no charge. So instead of navigating Medicare on your own, spend your time doing what you love. We'll help you get the care you need to keep doing it. Medicare, make it yours today. 2024 open enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. Get started today at aging.nm.gov/Medicare. This announcement was paid for in part by Grant 2201 NMMDR from the Administration for Community Living, sponsored by this station and the NMBA.
So your pecans aren't as big and bountiful as they used to be? Well, what would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben from Roswell Seed Company. Few people knew as much about pecans as Jim Gill. And if he were here today, he'd tell you it was time to fertilize. He'd tell you just what you need and show you how to use it. Then he'd make some joke about your neighbors making fun of your nuts.
So when there's trouble with your pecans, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
It's October, and that means it's time to paint Roswell Honda pink. We partnered up with the Chaves County Cancer Fund to help raise much-needed money, and we are gearing up for another amazing year. Roswell Honda is giving away some great prizes, including 4 designer purses from Coach, Kate Spade, and Michael Kors. Pretty in pink, of course. Stop by for a free entry or 3 entries with a qualified test drive. And that's not all. With rates as low as 1.9% and over 100 quality pre-owned vehicles on the lot, there's never been a better time to get behind the wheel. Here's Joe Salzar to tell you all about it.
Don't let vehicle pricing rumors fool you. With Roswell Honda's market-based program tool, we are making it easier than ever to get the best deal in southeastern New Mexico. And with every vehicle sold in the month of October, we will donate $50 to the Chaves County Cancer Fund.
Join us Saturday, October 26th from 10 to 1 p.m. We will have a special performance by the Charlie's Angels. Bring cash to support the cause and purchase goods from our many vendors. Help us make it happen for the Chaves County Cancer Fund, and let's paint Roswell Honda pink.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is your one-stop shop for farm and ranch supplies in southeastern New Mexico, with a friendly, knowledgeable team that can help you find the answer to your problems. With brands you know, including Preferred, Pearson, Purina, High Pro Feeds, Ariat, Wrangler, Cinch, Justin Boots, and more. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is a proud supporter of area sports, 4-H, FFA, and the farmers and ranchers of tomorrow. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd, celebrating being family-owned and operated for 50 years.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 10 o'clock, 9:59 here. Got a minute or so here before we wrap up today's show. Of course, if you miss any part, you can always check them out on our website at your leisure. Go log on to ksvptv.com, click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find all of our interviews there, including over the last several days. I've replayed it here and there, but some good information. If you're looking for resources and things, my interview with Carrie Moore from the Health Council's got some great stuff. There's an interview in there with Bill Williams from the county that's got some really good information in there as well. A few other great resources threw out there on just information on how to get stuff. Also, check our Facebook page. As I see it, I'm sharing various videos and links to resources for various needs and things. If you're in need of whatever, there's links to a lot of it there on our Facebook page. Sharing videos as well too. Matter of fact, our city councilor Christine Arl just shared a video a little bit ago of some cleanup efforts going on around the convention center, Spring River area there. So I just shared that video a minute ago there. So, but yeah, there's stuff like that all there. Just as I get post updates, any updates on school and stuff, as soon as we get that information, we'll pass that along to you. A lot of it through our Facebook and all that stuff there too. So stay abreast that way. That's a good way to keep up to date on the latest with everything happening around town for updates and all that good stuff. Thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of your day. I hope all of you have a great day. Keep at it. Keep your heads up. We'll get through this. This too shall pass. We'll talk to you bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell.